Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Paranormal Chop Shop. And happy Friday the 13th. What is going on, Ren, Jess, Enzo? How you guys doing?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Fantastic.
And hopefully chat fills up soon. There's not too many people watching. Didn't really share this one out because it's just a hangout, but it usually builds up once we get going.
It'll build up.
So yeah, there is some people in here. Wreaking Havoc was in here earlier, and Jess and Wally.
Yeah.
Doof stopped in. Doof,
That's Karen from Australia, who I do the show with. We normally have a Friday night show, but she's out of town there in Australia visiting family. So we did a show last night. So we sat and discussed all kinds of things. Yeah,
a whole bunch of people.
Just a shout out.
You did. Thank you. Last night, it was just so many people, so much talking. I couldn't shout out anybody. I had to shout them out in the chat.
Cass is here.
Cass. If you guys hear my dogs growling, they're just having a good old time, you know.
Oh, it's
howling.
Chat. You know, they're just chilling with us.
Rocky was doing the same thing. He's attacking. There's something outside just across the street, and if it's a coyote, it's a baby coyote. I think it's a fox. It's making fox sounds, but I don't really see foxes around here. He's always attacking something. Dog's always on the hunt.
Very rare that I see a skunk around, or a fox around where I live. We do get a lot of skunks, though.
Oh no.
I think the last time I saw a skunk, honestly, was years ago. We have so many raccoons out here, though, and they're so big. They're probably almost as big as the dogs. I mean, they're living the life out here, you guys. They're living the lake life.
I bet the last time Troy seen skunk was just a couple weeks ago, maybe even a week ago. I love Weed, guys. They got a great channel. If you haven't ever watched their show, they are hilarious. You gotta go check these guys out. Hey, what's up? What's going on, man?
Oh, skunk.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of the small wild like that. We get skunks around where I live. I've seen one raccoon and one fox. Quite a few coyote. We have quite a few of those around. Just randomly, once a month, you'll hear a yip 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 off in the distance, and then they'll start yipping all around you. It's oh my god, they're everywhere.
They told me that they do that yiping thing that coyotes do here. If they yipe, they do their howl, their coyote call. Then the other coyotes go off. They basically, the one that's starting that is counting those calls, and if there's a call short, she goes into heat. And then they breed and make more coyotes. If some got killed, that puts her into heat, and yeah.
They get confused in my neighborhood. Well, my area, we have trains that run through my local area, and whenever they're going through major crossings, they blow on the horn. As soon as they blow that horn, all the coyotes start answering it back like it's one of them.
That's
hear from miles. Yeah.
We have a lot of trains where I live, and a lot of coyotes, and I've never connected the two between them howling and the train whistles, because you can for sure hear it you can hear it all around Silver Lakes. It's a little valley, so the sound just carries throughout the whole community. But I never thought of that, the coyote, because you can go outside right now and you'll probably hear a few of them, honestly. So that's crazy. I'm going to try to make the connection next time, because that's really, really cool.
Could be. Imagine it works kind of everywhere. They think it's somebody else another pack howling somewhere really loud. So.
No, my dog just left. So I'm what is he doing?
Uh-oh. It's like when you have kids. When you have kids in the house and it suddenly gets very quiet, okay, they're up to something. What's going on?
Where's this guy at?
Yeah, mine are always out.
Just in case.
Well, we have a fun show tonight, you guys. Enzo's going to talk to us about some eclipse news. I had another UFO sighting that we're going to go over, and we're just going to hang out and have a good time. And if you guys want to talk about any topics, leave them in the chat. We'd love to bring them up. You know that. So, yeah, just like hang out with us.
We might have to talk about the Bigfoot video from the train window in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe that looks like me in a camouflage suit hunting deer.
Was that you?
It wasn't me because I don't go to Colorado, but I'm just saying that's what I look like in a suit walking around. But
I thought it was that. I thought it was a suit.
Well, maybe you never know. We're not looking at it like those people are on the train. When you're seeing it with your own eyes, even if it's far away, you can tell.
Just for me, from my observation of watching it, there's a few videos out there where they kind of have zoomed in on the Bigfoot walking around, and you can clearly see where it's like super baggy in certain areas around the legs and stuff like that. Because
it looked like to me
probably a costume.
Mine's really baggy around my feet.
Yep, and I do think that it's a Bigfoot suit and not a ghillie suit because it was almost too shiny.
It just looked camouflage to me, just like a camouflage.
Actually, I thought it was the exact opposite. I felt it was too uniform. It was like one solid shade from top to bottom, which would be like a costume. Or unless Bigfoot has a very good shampoo and conditioner regimen. I don't think it should be that shiny for something.
Your routine is impeccable.
With the ghillie suit, I have had rifles pointed at me.
Dang. Yeah.
And then
that may be more about you than the rifles
a little bit, and I'll move and I'll go, hey, don't point that fucking gun at me again. And then people are like, what the fuck? Because in the middle of the mountains, I've had cows hunt me down in the mountains and find me. And I'm just leaning on a tree. Cows. Yeah.
That's cool.
And no.
You're giving away your position.
Cool.
No, they'll hurt you. Yeah, they'll hurt you out there. Some of them will. But yeah, I've had one hunt me down, and it was so funny. She walked right up to me. She had her face in my face and just still looking for me. And you just can't see. Like if you're in a ghillie suit, it's just you look like a tree to me. You look like a bush, or that's kind of what that looked like to me. Like it looked like a moving suit like that. And mine's a 2-piece suit, but it's real baggy and it hangs. It looks like a 1-piece thing when I have it on, but it's a 2-piece suit. But yeah, I couldn't see it good enough to say yes or no. And guys, I found tracks of these things. I can't say that it's a Bigfoot track. I showed you guys the tracks a couple episodes ago, or last episode, probably 2. We talked about it. I can tell you that there's something that lives in the woods that makes a humongous track like a human's footprint, and it's heavy. It pushes the ground in pretty good, and it's big. It's big. But I don't know what it is because I've never seen it. I took videos of the tracks because I've hunted out there my whole life and never seen that shit. And to come across that, it wasn't just scary, because after that, I went to use the phone because it was on a Friday and I didn't come home to do the show. So I called Cass to let her know not to, we're not doing the show. So tell anybody who asks, we won't be doing the show. And while I was on FaceTime with her, someone threw a rock at me and it hit the truck. Okay. So I was really pissed. I stayed there for a long time looking for this person that threw a rock at me. It's the only spot in the mountains where I get a phone signal. So I went back there 2 weeks later. I stayed up there for a long time hunting. So this is a couple weeks later. My cousin's back with me. Went back there to use the phone. I was parked in a different spot. I was parked 20 yards away from 30 yards away from where my truck got hit with a rock. So I was real close to that spot, but just pulled up on the mountain instead of parked on the road. And I'm sitting there and I'm checking all my messages and I look out my window. I've been sitting there for a long time. I've been there for a long time checking all my messages. And I looked out the window and there's this big ass huge footprint that's been there for a long time. It has a stick smashed in the ground where it stepped on it. It's got shit growing out of it, so it's been there that long. Like the moss was growing back up out of the print. And yeah, that was the second one I found. And that's where the truck got hit with a rock. That's
Damn.
the same spot. Yeah, and in the video too, I get behind the footprint, like the direction it was going, and there's this big, huge wood pile, like these trees piled up. Looks like a big, huge beaver dam. And then there's an entrance to it. It looks like you could go in there. And on the video, I'm going, dude, there's not enough fucking money in the world to get me to go in that hole. There's no way, because whatever left that footprint looked like it was headed straight for that, you know, because it was in line with it. I was like, there's no way I'd stick my head in there. So
Probably
yeah, I
better
don't
you did.
believe in those things, guys. And the Colorado thing, I see it and then I'm so skeptic. I don't mean to be. It just happens. I'm sorry, Jess. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just joking. I said it's good you didn't stick your head in there. They might have pulled you into Bigfoot land. Who had never seen you again.
My hunting buddy. Oh, go ahead.
We can look at that Bigfoot video if you like. I got it pulled up down below, shared down below there.
Is this one? All right.
Again, even in 2023, people are filming something important and are still holding their phones like this and not like this.
I know.
But I have the sound turned off. This is from like a local news stories, but you can see our guy walking along and he decides to cop squat there. Just watch the little train go by.
Yeah, he blends in with that background so well. That just looks like camouflage.
Yeah.
For that spot.
But there's the little town, because this is it's like a touristy kind of train where it slowly goes around a little local area and it shows, old mining town and this bridge and this overlook and things like that. It's a tourist thing. It's not, you're not going from one town to another or anything like that. So it's all kind of like open and one of those it probably looks like an old steam engine or something like that. But so it makes this route quite often, and it happens to be where the little town that it comes out of. There's also a Sasquatch RV retailer there.
Oh,
they do have someone that dresses up in a Sasquatch outfit to wave the sign, come check out our RVs and stuff like that. So there's more leaning towards it being a hoax or a guy, wearing a costume than it is being an actual Bigfoot, the most elusive creature on the planet. Just look, there's a train. I'm just gonna sit down here and check it out. That's not what a Bigfoot does.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. For the track that I found, even if that's tall, whatever that is in the video, damn sure ain't fat enough to make that print I seen.
Yeah, the thing in the video is so like its skin kind of just, or its skin, whatever, just like hangs off of it. Like like a shirt. It doesn't seem like real. It doesn't seem realistic at all. So for me, it seems like a hoax. I vote hoax.
Yeah, I'm in the hoax part.
Even the first one I found in camp, that first print, Enzo, in the video, you hear me laughing because I'm clearly just looking around like, okay, you fucking idiots. Like, I'm just waiting for someone to come out and make fun of me, right? Because it's that perfect. It's not smashed in the ground. It was in hard dirt, but you could tell it's a big-ass human's footprint, in my camp, barefooted. And, yeah, and I just looked around basically I was waiting for someone to jump out of the woods like fucking Jake and Big Willie came from Michigan just to fuck with me or something. It was like that. And there was never anybody. And when I first got to that camping spot, it was months before that, 2 months, probably almost month and a half before that. It was a horrible smell when I got there, and the smell went away in like an hour, and I never could find where the smell came from the next day. And I was still skeptical. Even when I see it, like I said, I see a damn video of it, and if it's not faked, I'm sorry to the guy that shot it. I don't mean to be a skeptic. It just don't look real. I would expect it to be much bigger and wider than what that looks like.
As much as I respect you, Sonny, and I respect your experiences, but I have a hard time believing in Bigfoot. I'm going to tell you guys the truth.
Wow.
No, I like the honesty.
Non-believer.
It is hard to believe, and especially for someone that's been in the mountains as long as me, that goes out there every year. For 3 months out of the year, I'm usually in the mountains, and
So if
I've
anybody
never
proves
seen
this,
anything.
I'll have to admit, I understand, Jess, because it was only a few years ago that I kind of came around. It's like, okay, maybe, because I honestly, I was where you're sitting at right now, Jess, where it's like, it's just drunken hillbillies out in the woods, making up tall tales.
there.
Mhm.
Or it's
Yeah.
however, I'm a big fan of Les Stroud, who does the Survivor Man TV
Yeah.
show. And a couple of years back, he did do a series of shows about Bigfoot. He's a documentary filmmaker, and he does all his filming himself and all that stuff. He's been everywhere around the world showing how to get out of tight situations. He's like, okay, is it possible for something a large, even in its most basic, if it's just like an 8-foot gorilla or ape or something like that, some kind of primate living out in these woods, is it possible? And at the end of the series, he came to the conclusion that, yeah, I do think that's possible for them to be out there and to be hidden and stuff like that. He didn't speak, and he did have some controversial UFO people on there that the Bigfoot people all hold their nose at and say that guy's faking all of his junk. But it's the same problem that the UFO side has and the ghost side, where it's full of people that are trying to just grift and make a buck off of so, and they make up crap, make up tall tales like that. So it's I kind of turned around and say, okay, maybe there's something to it, because there's stories going back centuries for these things. A lot of old Native American legends about them, long before any of us, any of our ancestors came here, and it kind of continued after they did. So I feel, much like, UFOs and ghosts and all the other stuff under that paranormal umbrella, that there's almost a belief system that has to be required to truly be a real believer in it, because there's just not that much evidence. And honestly, for all the paranormal topics, ghosts and UFOs, you get some blurry out of focus pictures. You're not sure what it is. Maybe you get a video of something flying across a room or something like that, or something. Bigfoot, at least you've got plaster casts of giant ass footprints all over the place.
Yeah, but like I said, I've seen the footprint. I believe that people definitely see the footprints now. There's no doubt in my mind. It's just now I have to see what makes the footprint. And I've seen a video of literally my cousin took the video, and I don't think he would lie to me. He says it's a Bigfoot crawling up a cliff. Says it in the video. And it's actually one of the videos, he goes, "Here you go, cuz he's talking to me. So I found your damn Bigfoot. Look at this thing." And we have these videos of this, whatever it is, but it's all blurry and far away, and you just can't see it. Even if it is one, you can't tell. I want to be able to see one and be able to tell what's making that footprint. Jess, did you see the video? Like the second video of the second one I found? I'll play it if you want.
It,
go ahead.
See if I can. This, if I can find it. I think this is it. Window. There it is. Okay, this one will be The second footprint I found, but I went back the second day and brought my cousin and showed him after I found it. And we got back to camp that night from hunting. We hunt apart. Sometimes we don't hunt together. We got back to camp and I told him, you know, you got to see this shit. So we went back and seen it the next day. Okay. You guys hear that?
Not very well.
It's turned up all the way.
In here, where the toe marks are.
Okay, we can hear that.
Dug in. Let me show you guys here. When a deer walks up, they have 2 marks they make. And when they walk up a hill, it looks like this. You'll see the 2 marks here at the bottom of their mark. But when they walk up, it does that. When a human or something walks up a hill barefooted, we dig in with our toes. Dig in like this. They dig in and we kind of slip. And it has these dig in prints, you know, where they go up in there. See, my fingers went up in as I'm trying to crawl up this hill. I'm reaching and grabbing. They kind of, you know, your fingers grip just like your toes do. We noticed that those are gripped in. These holes, they're gripped inwards. Like here's the top, here's the bottom is in here. Top's out here. So straight down is like this. So it's that much deeper in than straight down in here. So something dug in when it walked up this hill. Whatever it was, had a big ass foot. If that is a footprint, I stepped on that stick right there. Crunch.
Oh, and my boot's an 11, guys.
It's smashed way in the ground. This was all wet when that made that track. And the spider web I pulled out yesterday's back. The whole thing came back. Right in there. Okay, just figured I noticed something there. Oh, look, here is a buck track. I mean, not a buck track, but a deer track. Walking up the hill. I'm gonna break these branches out of the way. See that? See his 2 little hoof marks? And then he slid back down into there. That's what I was trying to show you guys. That's what happens when a deer does it. A deer doesn't go and in like that. They go straight back. That only happens if you have fingers or toes to make the print go in.
Okay, guys. Now, a lot of people will say, well, a bear could have did that.
That was my very first. That's what I was going to ask.
All right. A bear would have left huge ass claw marks because they have big claws on their rear feet when they walk, or front feet. They just have big, huge claws. And when they walk, they leave claw marks in the dirt, claw prints. They don't just leave a toe print. There's a toe print with a big old nail sticking out in front of each one of them.
Usually the common thing that people argue about for Bigfoot tracks that are found is that it's a double step from a bear, where the front paw makes a mark, and then the back paw as they're walking kind of like hits the edge of it, so it looks like one big long continuous print. But it's the claws that everyone forgets about. You could certainly see where the claws dig in for every step that they take. There'd be claw marks in the middle of the Bigfoot footprint if that was the case. I would feel so.
I'll keep playing it so you guys can see that thing at the end. My internet is kind of giving out. I'm trying. All right, let's try it again.
That is a deer track walking up this hill.
Oh, and I'm good at tracks.
Like
I know all my tracks, dude.
Just
don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Rocky's in it right now. He's checking it out.
Now, this dog will hunt anything, guys.
What is that, Rock?
And he does not fuck with either one of these tracks. He acts like he don't want nothing to do with it.
It's just big. You don't know what did it.
I know he's little, but he's still a hound dog.
You show me where it went.
He's the
Like,
cutest little hound dog. Look at him. He's like,
Good. He's got his hunting jacket on.
so
I
cute.
was born in the daytime, but it wasn't yesterday time.
It's so cute.
There's more that I found. I'm
Oh.
gonna bypass those.
It was a good indention Donnie found down in here. Here.
You guys can't really
Yeah.
see that. That's just a different
Close
print.
it in.
It's a footprint,
So you guys
but
can
you
see
just
that.
can't see it good.
Yeah.
All angles.
We can see it really good because we're standing there. That's why I said the people on that train, they might have been seeing something that we're not seeing on camera.
Let's head the other way. If that's another print. We looked all over here, and if you follow the print,
Watch,
Go over
that's
there.
the place. See, I wouldn't go in there.
You should have gone in there.
Fuck that.
that's big.
It's literally like something's little home over there.
Uh-huh. It ain't my home.
That's no Hobbitshire over there. That's
Yeah, I wasn't going in there.
Yeah.
That's for some other dummy to do. That's But yeah, when it stepped on that stick at the end of that video, actually I should have just played it, but oh well. I go pick that stick up and it smashed in the ground. Like I thought it was growing out of the ground or something, but no, it's broken and stuck in the ground. And in the video, I say, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna get it anyway. I don't care if I fuck it up. No one else is gonna see this print, you know, because I said I'd leave it there in case someone else knows what they're doing finds it." Then I went back to pull that stick up, and when I noticed it was broken, stuck in there, I left it there. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna fuck with it." But yeah, I was impressed by that one, Jess. The first one I found was just a print in hard dirt, a footprint. Yeah. That one was smashed in the ground, so it had to have been raining or snowing or something for whatever made that print to smash it that far in the ground. But I can't explain to you what that is. I can explain to you what it looks like, but I don't know what made that print. That's definitely one footprint. That's not something that stepped there a bunch of times. that's one footprint.
By something fairly heavy.
Well, for it to be all the exact same depth, I mean that's pretty damn. Just for something to come back and forth and step there that many times, you would think it'd be off in some spots, you know, a little deeper from it wasn't so wet when he came back, or I don't know. I just trust me. In the first video, you hear me say maybe a deer stood there somehow and didn't have the correct hooves
dancing
and made 5 prints somehow. You know, oh dude, I'm explaining everything, but a Bigfoot made this print because I don't want to. I'm out in the middle of nowhere by myself. I don't want that to be true.
Fuck.
Oh, and I use a big ass gun, and I don't want to run across something that made that print. Yeah, I use a 300 Weatherby.
This is ready.
A 300 Weatherby mag, and I still don't want to see what made that print.
Yeah, that would certainly, I would think, at least make it sting a little bit.
You just make it bad if you shoot it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's a big ass gun. That's a big bore gun.
Yeah.
Somebody that I would love to get their info on are all these people that hike the Pacific Crest trail this time of year. You know what I mean? Because they go from Canada to New Mexico, and it's just and it's just on foot the whole time. You know what I mean? So I would love to see what their experiences are, or if they've even experienced anything. Because there's so many people that do that yearly. You know what I mean? It's literally a community of people. So
I thought they did it on horses.
No, they do it on foot. Maybe they do it on horses. There's so many different people that do that, but I would love to hear from them. It makes me almost want to do it, but no.
That's a long ass way to go on foot. That's got to take weeks.
Oh, longer than weeks, bro. Yeah, it's got to take months. They're not humping it like military guys. They're not.
Yeah, it's just regular people like you and I. I follow this one girl right now, and she's doing it just by herself. Like there's people that go out there by themselves even not do it. And I think that is just nuts. Like it's so cool, but imagine what they see and what they hear. Like, you know, I don't know. It's cool.
In a covered wagon, it took my family like 3 months to get here from Oklahoma.
Wow.
When my family came to California.
Damn, they came in a covered wagon? Shit, your family been here since then?
Yeah, and my granny was full-blooded Indian, and then we're from Oklahoma, so they didn't want Okies here, and they didn't want Indians here, and so they had to be in a covered wagon and sneak here, not just get on a train and come here. Yeah, we've been here that long. In this town too, for a long time.
Wow. So what do you like your local friends that live around you? Have you talked to them about this? It's like, hey, you see anything weird? Because I saw something weird up at the campsite.
I don't even want to say, because like I'll tell them stuff like people I don't think is gonna say, yeah, I've seen one, or tell me any stories like that. Like my father-in-law, he'll say, yeah, I think we've seen one, like him and his brother or something like that. And so yeah, I get, but I think they're messing with me. I still think people are messing with me.
What would be worse?
Go ahead.
What's the worst situation? Somebody messing with you or actually being Bigfoot?
For me, it would be someone messing with me, because I'd be pissed. I'd be mad. Like
I'd be furious.
I don't like that hoaxing stuff. You know what I mean? I'd be pretty mad. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny.
Bigfoot or no, I still think you'd probably destroy whoever it is that took that chunk of paint out of your truck.
Right.
Oh man, that dude. That was, yeah. Like all I can say on here is I got mad. Stayed there for a long time looking for those motherfuckers that threw that rock out of the middle of nowhere, and I could not find them. Yeah, that would made me mad. Because, well, the thing is when I had her on the phone, I don't use FaceTime. But if you try to call someone on the phone up there, it don't really work that well. But if I use Messenger, it works so good. And I don't use FaceTime, and that's what I was on. I was trying to showcase this corner that's way in front of me on this dirt road, and I'm walking like this, and I'm trying to zoom in, and the phone won't zoom in. And I'm walking right next to the truck. So I stop, and I'm like, fucking phone. And as soon as I stopped, the rock dropped in front of my face and hit the truck like this close. Wow! And it fell at my feet. And I was like, what the fuck? Cassie screamed. She was, what was that? What the fuck was that? And I go,
oh my
God, threw a fucking rock at me. If I'd have kept walking, it would have beamed me right in the head. If I wouldn't have stopped to mess with the phone, that rock would have domed my ass.
Damn.
That's why I was so mad. I was mad because it hit the truck, but I was also mad because the son of a bitch almost killed me with a rock. Whoever threw that rock.
Why is Bigfoot trying to take out Sonny?
And with a little rock too. It was just bigger than a golf ball. It wasn't very
still
big.
enough to hurt you.
Fucking boulder, but it was a rock.
I don't understand why Bigfoot's after you, Sonny. Why? What did you do?
Why this year? What did I do?
What did you do? Did you kill one of their deer or something that they were hunting, and they're like have it out for you now?
I don't know. That's why I did something this year too. I wrote my name on a rock outside the camp, real big, so my cousin could find me easy, because he gets lost when he goes in there because it's so far off the road. So when you come by this big ass flat rock, you're driving down this road for miles, this big old flat rock, it just says Sunny across it, and it's not written in paint or anything. I go get a piece of charcoal out of the pit, and I write my name on there in like graffiti. And then when it rains, it'll wash it away. That way it doesn't stay. I would never spray paint a rock up there. So that's what I do. And so then I started thinking, well, I put my name out on that rock, and then I do this show. Everyone knows I'm going hunting and where that watches the show.
Uh-oh.
So if they went up to the, where I'm at, they could drive on that road and find that rock with my big old name.
You just told us all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be that hard.
And
So-
you go to the same spot every year, right? For the most part, the general
For the
area.
most part, the same 2 spots. Yeah,
And how long have you been doing that?
long time. I don't know, 20 years we've been going up there. Longer than that.
Longer
Way
than
longer than that. Because we also fished up there before we even hunted up there, and when we were kids. So I've been going up there since I was old enough to drive, since I was 16.
Well, it seems like if you haven't seen anything, prior to this year,
Yes, exactly.
that for me, because I'm certainly not a wildlife guy, but I've done some studying on it from an old job I had, that you don't see like unusual movement of animals. Usually it's weather dependent. Like if it's a severe drought where they have to try and move to find water or food, or just the opposite where you get so much rain, they get washed out of wherever it is they normally hang out and they have to move to drier areas. What was the weather like this year? Is it very different from previous years?
Colder. It was a little bit colder or longer. Yeah, it's usually not as cold during bow season. It's usually hot. It was hot during the day. Well, warmer during the day, not hot. But at night, it was very cold. And also, I went up to the other spot where we hunt at Wishon, and it was the same thing at that spot. When you drive at both of these spots, when you drive down the road, down this dirt road, you look out your door window, you will see nothing but deer tracks on both sides of the truck. Okay, just up and down this road, because deer travel the best path, so a trail, or if there's a road, they're going to walk down the road because it's just a better place to walk, just like we do. We take a sidewalk instead of walking through rocks. So they'll walk down the sides of these roads and they leave their footprints all over the fucking place. There was no footprints where I was at. None. I couldn't find any anywhere. So I went all the way up to Wishon, and when I pulled in, I did the loop, no footprints. I go to my buddy's camp. The first thing he asked me when I got out of the truck was, "Dude, did you see any footprints coming in?" That's why I came up here. And he goes, "There's none." And I go, "I don't get it, dude. There's none down there either. Where the fuck are the deer at?" Because it's the only 2 places they could be. We couldn't find them. And yeah, it was very strange this year. It was weird. So maybe the Bigfoot scared all the deer away.
There is
I don't know,
that.
guys. Whatever made that fucking footprint, that's all I can tell you. If no one's messing with me, and something made that footprint, there's something really big, like that lives in the woods, that makes a big ass, huge human-looking footprint.
I don't know, man.
I don't think Jess is buying it.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard because I'm
Well,
like,
I didn't even buy
he's
it.
telling the truth, right? With
Yeah,
his experiences, and he's got video, but I'm still like,
I
can't.
Holy-
It just doesn't register as like a possible. Like, come on, guys. I'm
I
trying.
didn't buy it either, even after me finding I found it, and I didn't buy it after the first one. Even when the truck got hit with a rock, I thought someone was fucking with me. And then finding the second one 2 weeks later that's got shit growing out of it, that one I just showed you, there's no way someone planted that there and knew I would park in that spot, that far away from my camp, and knew I would see that track. No one's fucking with me on that one. You know what I mean? That one, the one that's in front of the big pile of bush, whatever that brush was,
Yeah.
with the hole in it, that track's got shit growing out of it. It's been there a long time. That's not something somebody just did. And I don't know, that's freaky to me. I just don't, because like I said, I hunt out there and I'm far, far away from home, from anything really. I'm far away, and there's no phone signal unless you're in that one spot. And if there's something that big out there that makes that track, even if it is a bear with no nails or something, that's just a big, huge ass animal that's making a footprint like that. That's big.
Yeah. I mean, something has to be making the footprint, but is it Bigfoot?
Oh, and the bear here, Jess, if you find a 500-600 pound bear here, that's a huge one. You're not going to see 1,000-pound
Bear.
Yeah, they're tiny. I mean, they're scary, but they're like not huge.
Here they're small. We just have black bears, and our brown bears aren't grizzly bears. They're just cinnamon colored black bears. We don't have grizzly bears anymore.
They're knockoff grizzlies.
500-600 pounds, they'll still eat you.
Wow. That's interesting though that there were no deer or no tracks, I should say, around there when you guys went up. And
weird.
There's certainly something that's changed that area, whether it be weather or some other, predator in the area or something like that. But you didn't see anything like do you get wolves out there or just coyotes?
Coyotes.
No, okay. No, there has been wolves actually that have been seen now in like Central California and Northern California. There's like wolves that have started migrating back into California. It's actually like a really big deal. They're not a huge pack or anything, but it is happening. I mean, I don't know, but I did see like a report that there are wolves coming back into California. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe you could see a wolf instead of a coyote. They're still probably going to be pretty small.
Oh, okay.
I know. I seen an eagle here, like over my house where I live in the Central Valley, basically I live in a desert. But there's an eagle, and first I just thought it was a hawk with two crows fucking with it. Then I looked, it was an eagle with two hawks fucking with it, and I was like, no way! Like it trumped those hawks. The red-tailed hawks, it trumped those things. It's just way huger. So I see it, and then I still can't figure out what it is because it doesn't have a bald, it doesn't have a white head. So I can't tell what the fuck that is. So I started taking pictures of it, and I asked somebody, and they told me that's a golden eagle.
Oh.
Then I told my wife. She thought I was crazy. It came on the radio a couple days later. It said there'd been an eagle sighted in Fresno, and we heard it. And I told her, I told you I seen that eagle over our house. It lives there somewhere, in the summertime or the wintertime. It starts getting cold up there is when I see it here. So we were leaving here maybe, it was probably 2 weeks after that. We were leaving my house. And when we back out and leave, there's a big, huge reservoir holding pond across from us. And she slammed on the brakes. And I go, what the hell are you doing? And she goes, is that your eagle? It was sitting on the road of that holding pond. It's fucking huge. That thing's probably giant. I'm only 5'7", guys. I'm short, but it probably comes up to my belly button.
Hey, man.
It's so tall. They're so big. Like way bigger than, it looked big in the sky, but standing there, it's just humongous.
Dang. That's nuts.
So yeah, there is animals that I'm starting to see here. And then I did see a wolf here.
Yeah.
Like tell this story.
Well, I don't know if that was necessarily a wolf, but
I know. Okay. My daughter called this, Jess. She lived right there. Okay. Our houses touch. Our yards touch. Okay. You walk through my fence to go into her yard and vice versa. She called and said there was a guy standing out front, pale looking guy, with no shirt on is what she told me. Trying to remember all this stuff with no shirt on. And he was in front of her house, like towards her driveway more, but he was looking back towards my house where all the cars are at and the trucks and stuff and the toys. And I was like, oh yeah, that shit ain't happening. So we had just sat in our beds to get ready to go to bed, me and my wife. So we weren't in bed yet, quite in bed all the way. And so I grabbed my pistol because it's right next to me all the time. And I headed outside with a flashlight. And I got out there and there's nobody out there. And we're talking 30, 45 seconds after I'm off the phone, I'm out front.
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy's not out there. But across the street is like 100 acres of almonds. All right.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of trees. I know he's hiding behind one of the trees. It is pitch dark black outside. And I know his ass is hiding behind one of those trees. And I'm standing in the road where she said he was standing. So I walked back on our side of the road, but I was still standing on the edge of the street. And I told Deanna, because she's out there with me now, and I told her, just stay there, don't move and be quiet. And I shut the light off and put my gun in my chest, and I turned my back towards that field because I knew if I was quiet enough and that guy seen that he could run, he would run, and I'd be able to hear it. Then I could turn around with the flashlight and see who it is. So my plan backfired. He's running, but he's not running away. He's running straight up behind me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to shoot this son of a bitch.
Oh,
And he's getting close. When I hear his feet hit the road, I turn around with a flashlight and my gun with a laser on him. And
nice.
he's not there. It's a big, huge fucking black wolf.
So werewolf.
A huge wolf. And it's running right at me. As soon as I turn the light and hit it with the laser, it turns.
What?
Running down the street now. It turns away from me when it sees me, because it couldn't see me in the dark. It seen me when I turned that flashlight on. It didn't stop, but it turned. And so it's running. Now it's like off the side of the road in the dirt, but running down my street. And I put the laser on it, and I told Deanna, I'll shoot it. And Deanna says, yes, kill that fucking thing, because my wife is terrified. It's when you see a wolf, I've never seen one in person.
No, I haven't either. They're huge, though, right?
Motherfucker. It's humongous. You don't mistake that for a dog, I promise. It's big. So I have the laser on it, and it's an easy shot. It's not far. It's only like 30 yards away, and I can't pull the trigger. I told Deanna, I can't. I just lowered the gun. I kept the light on it. It crossed the street and ran into this field. So now it's on my side of the yard, but it ran into that field and kept going until I couldn't see it with the flashlight no more. I told Deanna I couldn't kill that thing. I go, that's the most beautiful damn thing I've ever seen. I go, that had to have escaped out of somebody's yard, because we don't have wolves here. That had to escape out of someone's yard. And we're talking about it, and we come back in. This time we get all the way in bed. And I lay down, and as soon as I close my eyes, what I hear in my head is Skinwalker. I just fucking popped straight up in bed, and I shook my wife and go, hey, what about the guy we went out there to find? And we totally forgot about the dude we went looking for, because this fucking wolf ran out of the field. I was thinking,
what?
Shit, was that a fucking Skinwalker? Is that
Skinwalker?
a wolf out there? Yeah, I tripped out. So I did have a wolf scare here before, but
wow,
that's like the craziest story.
I found a wolf. So maybe that wolf killed that guy out in the field somewhere.
That's what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know, but that wolf came running. I mean, right up behind me. It was some scary shit. And all I had, I'll say, a 40 caliber pistol is all I had. It wasn't a big caliber pistol, so I had 10 shots, and I was gonna have to make them count. I thought it was gonna kill me, dude. It was like 10 feet away. It was not far away. 10, 15 feet away when it turned. It was right there. Just the length of the road. So that's probably what, 20 feet, 16 feet. It was right there.
That's funny, because when I was a few weeks ago, I was invited to like a small town local Paracon kind of thing to talk about UFOs and stuff. But there were Bigfoot people, there were ghost people, there were UFO people all there. And I was having a conversation with one of the Bigfoot guys, Red Dirt Cryptids out of Oklahoma. He's got his own thing, and you might see him around in some of the pages. But we were talking about it. My big thing is, like, I don't quite get like the dog man thing. And he's like, okay, there's 3 different like classifications of what a dog man is identified as. And one of them is, it's basically just a giant ass wolf, like a dire wolf that like died off, 15,000 years ago. Dire wolf is like the size of a cow.
Yeah, those are real.
Wasn't that big?
Yeah. They're pretty goddamn big. And
no, I mean, what I seen wasn't that big. It was just big, huge
sure.
wolf, but
he said that like the second like classification of what people like label a dog man is kind of more like what we think of from like a werewolf, like an American Werewolf in London, where it walks, because that first case, the dire wolf thing, it's an actual wolf where it's on all fours, running on all fours, loping and all that stuff. It's just giant. It's just huge from what we're used to seeing wolf-wise. The second version is sort of like what we think of like as a werewolf, like American Werewolf in London, where it walks basically on 2 feet, or sometimes will like kind of like lope along on all fours, but like it still stands up, where it's sort of humanish body, but certainly a wolf-like head. And he said the third case could be it's the wild card, which is straight up a skinwalker. It can kind of look like whatever it wants.
Yep.
And it can sometimes, and it does fall under that thing of what a dog man could be, where they supposedly can transform themselves into giant wolves or a wolf man thing or any of these things. So it's funny that you had that skinwalker thing pop into your head,
Right.
and shoot up out of the bed, because it really took me back to a couple of weeks ago when I was having this conversation with the guy. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's well, and too. I don't think they can hurt me because this is never not around my neck.
What is it?
Right.
That comes off when I get in the shower. It comes right back on as soon before I even dry off. That's hanging around my neck.
What is it? I cannot see.
That's my medicine pouch.
Oh, okay.
It's a deer's nutsack, basically. And,
Really?
yeah, and it's blessed by a medicine man and stuff like that. And it's got stuff in there. It's got certain stuff in there.
For protection and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep. My buddy's even in there. There's some of my buddy's ashes in there. My Indian buddy boy.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get him, dog. Get him.
Somebody barked.
I know that's not that big ass dog that made that noise.
I know, right? I was saying it can't be that big dog. There's got to be a little dog somewhere over there.
Got helium pumped in there? What's going on?
Yeah, I've seen a little one in the back.
It's probably like, don't mess with me. I'm a little dog.
He's fine. Get him, dogs. Y'all kill. Is he chasing the cat? He's chasing the cat.
No, okay, so those are my 2 dogs. One is a Border Collie Australian Shepherd, and that's the white one you see. And then the other one is an Australian Kelpie, and she looks like a knockoff Doberman, and that's the one who barks. She barks like really high pitched because she knows we hate it. So so she does that to literally piss us off to get our attention, because her bark is like super deep. She sounds so scary, but no, she's just a jackass. And then that's that's the boy. He likes to correct her, which he's a great dog. They work they're best friends. They work in sync. You know what I mean? I just let them do their thing, and they're really good friends. So I'm just gonna mute myself.
Yeah, that's good though. I used to work for a company that employed border collies. They actually ran a border collie rescue, because people see them on commercials and TV shows. Oh, they're super cute. They're very smart and all that. Not realizing they're super neurotic, and they are working dogs. You have to give them something to do, or they will destroy everything.
Yeah, like that's Rain's bark when like she doesn't like, we're playing with her, but yet she wants us to play with her more. Like she talks so much. It's so funny. Like they sound so mean, but they're just talking to each other, and it's so funny. Like, yeah, I don't know. They're just the best of friends.
You won't beat their ass, buddy.
Yeah, the company I used to work for, they used to work around. They retrained all of these dogs that people would like freak out, because they thought it was like a regular dog that they were getting with a border collie. It's like, okay, well, hey, I'm going to go to work for 8 hours and see you tonight, and come back and the entire place is completely destroyed.
So what's cool about like my dogs is they're not domesticated. And I know that sounds weird, and it probably sounds like they would get into more stuff, but because I found them out both in the desert, they won't really get into stuff unless I'm around. So they do it more to get my attention when I'm here.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting with like the domesticated dogs and the ones that are more like on the wild side.
Those aren't dogs. Those are skinwalkers. Those are cobras you got back there.
It's literally what I call like Rain. Like we call Rain our little skinwalker because she's like a human. She literally like just she looks at you and you can understand her. She'll like talk. She talks back to me. I mean, it's so funny. We'll be walking, you guys, and I'll be walking too slow for her sometimes. So what she'll do is she'll grab like her heart, like the leash, that's attached to her harness, and she'll try to like bite it and then pull herself as if like to walk her fast, like she's walking faster just for like a split second, and she thinks that I'll have to like then walk faster too. She's so smart. It's so funny, you guys. I could talk about them all day, but let's talk about UFOs. Oh my god.
Well, the border collies I've worked with for the past, God, they were smarter than like some of the airmen that like just coming into the military I worked, where it was just like you didn't have to like do baby talk or anything. You just spoke in complete sense. Like, no, we're not doing that.
And the dog's like,
they would literally do the big heavy sighs, like, all right. That kind of,
hey, that sounds like, dude, I'm telling you, my dog Max, he used to say I love you all the time. He could say I love you. He could say pig, he could say water. Yeah, he would say I love you. He passed away though. And then he does it like he would do it on command too, but he would just do it like if I was gonna go in the house right now, he wouldn't want me to. He'd start saying it. He would start, I love you. Yeah. He was a good dog. He was mean. Oh, that
he
was
loved you so much.
he was really mean. I had him and Holly at the same time. She's old too. She's asleep back here. You guys can't see her.
I can't see her. Aw.
They're both Queensland Healers.
Oh, wow. So how many you got? You got 2 dogs?
Well, my daughter has her dog here right now. So there's a pit bull here and a Queensland and my weenie dog.
So
He's
cute.
a dapple weenie dog. He's all spotted up.
So adorable.
I'll see if I can find a video of Max. There's a video on my Facebook somewhere of that dog doing it, because one time on the Bob and Tom show, I was talking to those guys and they said, there's no way your dog fucking says that. And I sent them that video and they
They're like,
messaged me
bullshit, he
laughing.
doesn't.
They're like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, he's loud. Have you guys ever had Queensland Healers? Any of you guys?
No. I've had mutts all my life.
I bet they run around wild where Simon lives. The guy in chat.
Dingoes eating babies. Yeah,
dingoes. That's what Holly. They're her and Max are Bentley Queensland Healers.
Mm-hmm.
They have dingo blood in them.
Queensland.
And it's funny if you read the stories up on like how they were made. The guy that Tom Bentley that invented them, he was trying to make a dog that could run a long ways to herd sheep. So dingoes will hunt for like 3 days. They'll stay on a track, just going, hunting something down. They won't stop. So he wanted to make a dog out of that, and he did. And the first ones kept eating all his sheep. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, "What'd you think was gonna happen, dummy?" But yeah, he bred. I don't know what he bred with them, but he bred them with dingoes, and yeah, it was making him eat his sheep. I thought it was funny.
I'm back. Sorry. They're literally, she's crazy. I had to go in and get them like their greenie treats. So like we're like trying new treats with her and stuff. But sometimes you have to be really careful because she doesn't chew stuff. She'll just try to swallow it. So I just tried to give her a treat, and that's what she tried to do. So I had to take it away from her. She literally, you guys, she's such a handful, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. She's so funny, but yeah.
Cute.
So
oh my gosh.
Put them in the house so they could run around in there and
No, actually they're still out here. I can never leave them with my parents. No.
Oh
but
man.
Oh my gosh, Sunny, okay, you have to show Enzo the video that I took this last Saturday. So I barely like told Sunny it because
Did you send that to my email?
Yeah, I sent it to your email.
Shit, I don't check my email.
Okay, we'll check your email because I sent it
I
to his
will.
email so we can pull it up.
Oh,
But okay, so you guys, it was crazy. So I was just walking my dog and like I was walking my dog down the street and I look up and I see like where the street is like this, like it looks like the moon, you know what I mean? Like it's a crescent shaped. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. The moon's coming up. And then it starts to move like to the right. And I'm like, the moon, okay, like obviously the moon doesn't move that way. It moves up and down first, you know what I mean? So I was like, that's not the moon. And then I go to record it and I only got 2 seconds of like that recording before Rain jumped on me. And then I was like, okay, you're horrible. So I ran to like the nearest dirt lot because I was thinking like the trajectory that it was headed was towards, it was going to go over the lake and that was going to be like a pretty good view. So I went and I ran to like the nearest dirt lot, which was only 2 houses away from my house. And that was when I caught this video.
Ooh.
And you guys, I've never like, I didn't even like believe this when people would take these videos because I'm like, nah, that's photoshopped. That doesn't, you know what I mean? But no, it was literally like a blanket, like a white blanket, a huge white blanket the size of my house was floating across the freaking sky.
What?
Yeah.
I want to see this video.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. And in the video, you can see like a little black thing, like fly by. Okay, so that's a bird, just for like reference. You know what I mean? Like how big this thing is. It was so weird. So weird. So I really hope Sunny can pull it up. I want to see you guys' opinion, and I want to see what the chat thinks, because you guys, it was crazy. And I was gonna send it to McWest because I kind of do. Whoever he is, I just think it's good to get an opinion. You know what I mean? So
I'm trying to open it up right now. I'm trying to find it.
it was crazy. I came home. So like after I was at that lot's only 2 houses away from my house this way, and so I ran to my house. And like everybody was home, so obviously I wanted like people to see, and my mom was like the only one in the living room at the time, so I just like ran right out into the backyard with like the binoculars that we had to see what would happen, like if it would just disappear or I'd blast off. I have no idea. And so like we could, my mom even saw it, but it was just literally like disappearing, like as if kind of like a ghost just dissipated, you know what I mean? Or it just got too far for us to see, or it just like blended in with its surroundings. Like it was so trippy, you guys. Like it's almost like I literally came inside and I was like, I saw an apparition. Like I just saw an angel. It was so weird.
Okay, I got it.
Let's see it.
You got it?
Okay,
I'm not showing you guys. Oh,
Aw.
You'll probably hear me in the back. I'm gonna be like, what the heck is that? What is that? I'm like freaking out in the video.
I can mute you if you want me to in the video.
Oh,
But
I don't care.
I like to hear people's reactions.
Hear my reaction.
Okay, let me see if I could find it. I mean, I
You
found
said you had it.
I found it and opened it, but that's never a problem. Okay, here we go, guys. And I can't play it because now I got to miniaturize my screen and go back. Oh, they make this difficult. Okay, here we go.
So my dog was like jumping on me. That's why it wasn't super stable. But yeah,
I don't know what the hell that is, but it's big.
Yeah.
I don't know if the bird's like flown across the screen yet, but
That's either swamp gas or a weather balloon.
Swamp gas.
Okay, we gotta watch that again, guys, because
you can, yeah.
Hey,
Follow
on the
Luke,
phone, just you guys know, on the phone, it was this big. It wasn't even the size of the screen. It was like an inch. I couldn't hardly see it. So this is like the first time I'm getting to see it too.
this is the same lake or pond that you go to where you're feeding the ducks. I've seen those pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the lake we live on. Yeah.
It wasn't close to you, right? That's not a bag floating in the air.
So this was like
a bag, and I don't look like one to me, but I'm just saying.
So this was like the first video that I got of it. This is just
That
like
thing is moving in a uniform style. It is not floating around like a feather.
Focus. Oh, it won't focus. But like, it was. If you could sharpen the video just a little bit, you can literally see a bird fly in front of it, and it's just a little speck. Let me try.
I should have opened it with something else. I fucked up.
Okay.
I can't even zoom in with this one. I should have opened it in something else.
Okay, so this will like load on my phone. You see that little black speck, and then you see the white thing.
Yeah.
There it
The
is.
black speck is
There.
a bird. Yeah,
Oh,
and then
I got
that's
it.
Sonny's got it.
I
Yeah.
paused it on there.
yeah. So it
There's
looks
your
like
bird. Well, we
Now,
know it don't eat birds.
But as long as we're paused right here, I got a question. The object, from what you can tell, whatever the white object is it over those houses that we see at the bottom of the screen there on the other side of the lake, or is it much further away?
Is it over the mountain?
It would be probably a little past those houses in this instance.
Okay, so that's big.
Yeah, just a little past those houses.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. And so I like Googled stuff too, to see maybe what it is. And the only thing I could find was these things called spider balloons, which is when spiders have hatchlings and a whole bunch of eggs. Like, but they're only like a few feet big or something. They're not like huge houses of white balls. Like that was like that. It was insane.
Is there a car dealership anywhere around there?
No, okay, there's not.
Somebody's wacky flag flew away.
They do like those balloon garland things, and sometimes they fly off in these big masses.
So, like, I feel like it would have been like that, but if you look at the lake, the wind is pretty non-existent. It wasn't really windy. So for this to stay aloft like it was and be going kind of in a consistent direction, for the wind direction, it just doesn't make sense. You can look on the lake and it's almost perfectly still, which was super, super interesting. And I was glad I got it on camera.
What, the wind wasn't blowing there where you were standing filming this?
No, no, the wind was not blowing. You can see the lake, and it's the lake.
I assumed it was, because look at the ducks that are in the water. They're all moving to the same direction that whatever that white thing is.
They're just, sometimes the ducks, they just move in certain directions, whether there's a boat coming from the other, there could have been like a boat coming from the other direction. They just and stuff like that.
That lake is glassy clear on the other side. There's no wind on that side.
Yeah.
And that's how it was like the whole night. It was just super still out. So it was really crazy that this thing was just floating. And I did continue my walk. Like after I came home, I was like, okay, I'm going to continue my walk. And I went that way, and there's some people outside, and their front yard is towards the lake. You know what I mean? So they had a huge view of whatever I saw. So I was like, hey, did you guys see anything like flying over ahead like 10 minutes ago? You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure like I wasn't hallucinating. Like I had no idea, and they had actually seen it too. They were like, yeah, we just saw something like white fly by. Like they thought it was a balloon. And I was like, yeah, it was huge though, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And then somebody made a joke about it being like a Chinese spy balloon. And then they just stopped talking. So it was really like interesting. I was like, oh, like, I mean, I can believe that, I don't know if like they were awkward or something, but you know what I mean? It was cool that I wasn't the only one that saw it, at least. And another thing that was interesting was like, we have a community Facebook page, and a lot of people took pictures of it, and they posted pictures of it onto like the Facebook page and everything. And so I wasn't the only one that saw it, and nobody else, I guess, got a video of it. So all the pictures kind of made it look like a white bird, even though it was way too big to be a bird. But even in like one of these pictures, it literally looks like an angel or like a dove head diving or something. It was just, it took different forms. It like, you couldn't figure out what it was. It was so weird, you guys. Like, so weird.
If just your own personal wild ass guess, what do you think it was?
Honestly, I mean, I don't do enough research on the topics of life forms in our atmosphere. I haven't done enough research on that, but it reminded me of a jellyfish in the ocean, or like a stingray just kind of floating by. So I know there's new discoveries every day with physics and everything going on. So at this point, I'm like, shoot, there could be like a whole different living organism up there that we can't even see that looks like clouds. Like, I have no idea at this point, because I was one of those people, kind of like Jess, that was like, nah, that's just not real. Like, okay, yeah, I believe like maybe the UFOs, but like these weird cloud spirit things, like what? Like, it reminded me of like Rick and Morty, like a cloud talking fart. Like, what, huh? Like, it's literally.
I went from believing more to believing less, is how my life cycle went. Like, it takes a lot for me to believe now. And like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you saw, but it's like inconclusive.
Yes, like just inconclusive, no words. I'm almost like, don't even ask me. Just ask yourself, because I'm sure people themselves don't even know what it is. So how the heck am I going to know? Like, literally, I don't. I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to know.
I was going to bring it up, and some folks have already brought it up in the chat. Have you seen the film Nope?
Yes, yeah, and that scared the crap out of me. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I hope this thing is nice. Like, don't eat me, don't swallow me up like those whales that swallow krill. That's kind of what it reminded me of from that movie Nope. You know, it was like one of those whales that swallow the krill and stuff. But no, this thing was it was literally like a cloud. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched Rick and Morty, but it reminded me of like that cloud that like talks or whatever. I know it's like so stupid, but it was, I don't know.
It was singing David Bowie songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jess, have you heard the story that I've told about with me and Papa Willie? He's in the chat room right now, actually.
Hi, Papa Willie.
Papa Willie.
Papa Willie and Fap. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not paying attention to chat. I'm so bad at this. Danny Staten's in here.
Hi, everybody.
Fap. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. We went fishing one night, and it was funny because we left here fucking around, actually, and it was late, and we went to go find something in the sky. Really, we were going fishing. We went fishing. While we're fishing, he's in a wheelchair. Yeah, he was in his wheelchair. We're on this little bridge that's big enough for a truck to cross over. Okay, we're parked in front of it, but we're standing on it because it actually goes into an empty field. You know, they use it for the tractor or whatever, but you can't get through there right now. So we're not blocking anybody. And so we're fishing off that bridge into the water. He's facing this way, fishing. All right. Okay. I'm standing over here to the side of him. So he's not looking at me, but I'm looking at him. I'm facing him. Okay. And then we're talking, and I'm facing this way now. And now up here in the sky, a bar like this long of light that's so bright, it's like fucking sunlight, turns on for like this long and then shuts off.
I would have been like, God, that's God.
He goes, did you just take a picture of me? And I'm standing there like this. Oh! What the fuck was that? And he said, I go, cuz I didn't take a picture. My phone's not even in my hand. And I go, I don't know what the fuck that was, man. And I'm trying to explain it to him, trying to tell him. He was right there. You know what I mean? And didn't see it. Okay. So I'm trying to explain this to him. Now it's about 30 minutes later. I'm pissed off because I'm literally mad about it because he didn't see this thing. And when I went and got the GoPro out of the truck, this fucking recording sitting in the window facing the same way I'm facing, it says overheated. And it's nighttime. It's not hot. And our GoPro says overheated on it. And it's just off. It says overheated on the screen, and there's nothing showing through it. So I was pissed about that. So standing next to him now, it's 30 minutes later. Now I'm not facing this way no more. We're both facing this way. Okay. And we're still talking about it. And now directly in front of us, that same fucking bar of light turns on, and it is so fucking bright. You can't look at it. So now we both look down. We put our hands up like this to try to see it. And we look down because it's just on for this long. Okay. So that happens. Do this. But we can't look down because it's reflected out of the water now. So it's just fucking shining. And it's like fucking daylight. I can't stress that enough. Okay. And it's way the fuck up in the sky. And there's nothing flying around. Don't hear any noise. It's just this fucking bar of light. That it happened twice. I seen it once, and then it happened again. I seen it the second time. He seen it. That's the first time he's seen it. So he got to see it one time. I've seen that bar twice, and that's all that is. I don't know if that would have if you would have been there for that, Jess, it would have scared you a little bit.
It probably would have.
That was so fucking freaky.
If you had to guess how big it was, how
Dude,
big it
people have asked me that, and I don't know. It could have been a fucking football field long for all I know. It could have been
Very
way up
far
in
away,
the
yeah.
sky and
'Cause,
just been that. But how the fuck was that not on the news or something?
Yeah.
It didn't just light me and my cousin up, like
Right.
it lit this whole fucking area up like it was daytime. And
It's oddly, and I mean, I remember you telling. Maybe I don't remember you
told that
telling the story,
on
but
Ben and Joe's channel way back in the day before they were even.
maybe that's why I don't remember it, because
Garage.
my story of the first UFO thing that I saw when I was a kid is not dissimilar to that. It was an oblong light kind of a shape that was so bright. It was like welder bright. It was like it almost hurt to look directly at it.
Look at like looking at the sun.
Yeah. And it was, when this was 1977. And the only reason I remember that particular year is during 1976, that was the bicentennial, and the local steel mill that I could clearly see from my backyard. There was kind of like a valley area, and we were kind of up on a hill where my house was. And they had like a big American flag on top of the steel mill, which as soon as the New Year for 76 was over, they just turned it off. But I got into the habit of always looking over there as a kid because it was kind of cool to see this giant it wasn't LEDs, it was literally just giant bulbs in that year. But anyways, I'd gotten into the habit of whenever I was outside, I'd always kind of like look over there. And early 1977, just out of habit, I look over there and I see this wide kind of brilliant light. And to give it a dimensional kind of thing, it seemed like it was moving. There was like a large aircraft hangars type structure over there at the steel mill, where trains full of coal would like roll into this building to help fire the the kiln and all. Well, not the kiln, that's the wrong word, but fuel the furnace to make steel and stuff like that at this plant. So perspective wise, whatever it was that I was seeing that was this oblong glowing thing was larger than a crate, like a train car full of coal. So that's pretty big. And it looked like it was along the top of this building, slowly moving from one side to the other. Like it was like on the top of, at first I thought it was like it was something on fire because it was so bright. And I'm looking at it and it's like, I don't know what this is. It's not a helicopter. It was like right at dusk, right at sunset. It's like I couldn't hear like any noise, from like if it was a helicopter or anything like that. It's like, I don't know what the hell that is. That's not something that's normally there. And my sister was in the garage, and something had told me in my head that if I look away from it, it's not going to be there when I look back. And my sister's in the garage to the right, messing with her bike. And I'm like, hey, you need to look at this thing. It might be a UFO. I don't know what it is. Look, come here, look. And of course, little sisters be doing what little sisters are. You're making fun of me. You're just going to trick me. No, really, you need to come in. I think it was gone.
And then it was gone. Dang it.
Yeah. And, I was in grade school at the time. So I was like, this is a really public place. Someone else had to have seen this. Half the town, had people that were, their parents or whatever worked at this steel mill. And plus there's like two little shopping centers, like right next to, what we would call like a strip mall type of thing today. We're right there. And there's like a major highway, artery that runs right there next to the plant. Someone else had to have seen this. So I go to elementary school the next day, and I'm like, asking around, I was like, hey, did anybody see this like brilliant light thing? And so you're the UFO kid now.
You're the Oh no, you became the UFO
because kids
kid.
are awful.
Yeah.
So fortunately it didn't follow me through like the rest of like my school career kind of a thing, like certain bad things. One kid has an accident and pees their pants. They're the pissy girl for
Yeah,
like the rest of their school year until they graduate and move on and do something good with their lives. But but I was, for whatever reason, that didn't stick, and I was happy for it. But that's where I learned. It's like, all right, if you see something weird, you can't talk about it because people will label you as a freaking fruitcake.
Yeah.
And but nobody else claimed it, and there were certainly jibes at it. It was like, hey, did you see a UFO last night? Yeah, it was over your mom's house. The tractor beam wasn't strong enough to pick her fat ass up. But because kids are evil. And so it's stuff like that. It's just, but when you talk about, you described something very similar to what I saw, where it was just this brilliant white where you almost couldn't really look directly at it. It was so bright, slowly moving. I look away to yell at my sister to come look at this crazy thing, and of course it's gone. So I kind of get it where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
How about the first one I've seen? You've heard that story. I know Enzo's heard it. Jess, have you heard that before? The first thing I ever seen that
did I?
Made me start looking up. That was a story I also told on Ben and Joe's show. Where I used to live is just down the street from the street I live on now. It's about 2 miles that way. It's a neighborhood out in the middle of the country, but it's like a 4-block neighborhood, a big ass neighborhood. I lived right in the center of it. So I live in the middle of the neighborhood. I was driving in the neighborhood to go to my house. I turned to go down the middle block. And as I'm pulling in the driveway, I see these 4 lights. Okay. So there's 4 lights, and it's like a diamond.
There were 4 lights.
And it looks like a drone. And I'm thinking, who the fuck's flying a drone? Because drones have green and red lights. So you can tell what direction you're going. They're not all the same color. These are just 4 clear lights. Well, as I start pulling up in the yard, I'm getting closer. And it's getting closer. I'm driving up like this to pull in the yard, and it's getting closer too. Now I'm seeing 4 big ass floodlights. Like if you could have squeezed 4 helicopters together, those big ass lights, but they're floodlights. Not a spotlight, but a big old floodlight. And it's lighting up the top of the house, as it's getting closer. It's going real slow. So now, as I'm pulling in the yard, I almost hit my fucking trailer. I had a trailer backed into the yard on the side of the house, and it stuck out some. And I was actually pulling up into the yard, and I almost hit the trailer because I was looking up at it. And I get out of the truck, and I'm just staring at this thing now. And now it shut those 4 lights off. So it has no lights on it, no flashing lights, no nothing. And it's a big ass, the stealth bomber, the big flying V thing. It's that. And it's going over the neighborhood just super slow. People ask how high that was off the ground. And I tell them, I live in a single-story house. Okay, if you would have put 2 telephone poles on top of each other and stuck it on the roof of my house, it would have knocked that top telephone pole over. So it's that low. It's so low, I can see the panels welded. They're not welded. They're actually riveted to the bottom of this fucking thing. Okay. And so I could see in the back these big, huge exhaust dumps. There's 3 dumps in the back of this thing, these big old squares, and it comes off into a point. But that point right here, these dumps are open on the sides, and it's these 3 exhaust that sticking out. So it's an echo. Sorry. Yeah, I can see everything up in there, and now when it's directly over me, I'm amazed. There's a guy standing across the street. He's outside looking at it too. That day I had went shooting. We shoot guns all the time. I use ear protection, but they're still loud. So I'm thinking, dude, that is so cool. It's stealth bomber, and it don't make no noise, because it's a stealth bomber. And if it does, I just can't hear it. Now I'm gonna go in the house and get someone to come out and see it, just like Enzo. It's gonna be gone. I know it's gonna be gone. Okay. So I go in the house or the Mexican guy across the street don't speak English. So we're communicating as much as we can with each other, and all we're basically saying back and forth to each other is, "What the fuck is that?" That's about all we know how to. We know the cuss words. He knows the English cuss words. I know the Spanish cuss words, and yeah, we.
And then he turned into a giant black wolf. Oh, right.
No, he's out there pointing with me, and I was like, "Un momento, homie, I'll be right back," and I go in the house, and I come out. I went in there to get someone out of the house. The only person that was there was my daughter. She's like 16 at the time, and she's in the shower in my bedroom, so I have to walk all the way in the house, and I'm still thinking the whole time, this thing's gonna be, not there when we get out. I knock on the shower door. I tell her, "Hey." She says it's her, Savannah, and I tell her, "Hey, come out and look at this thing, because there's something over our house, flying over our house, and it's going really slow. I never seen nothing like it before. I think it's a stealth bomber. Can't hear it." And she's telling me, "Okay, I'll get out of the shower." So I go back outside, and as I do, like an idiot, set the phone down and grab a bigger gun that's sitting there and walk back outside. Then I start looking for my phone everywhere. It's sitting on my bed, so that's why there's no video of that. But I walk back outside, and then she gets out of the shower. It's still there. I walk out. She comes out too. She's looking up at it, and now it's directly over the house. It's just barely moving. And I told her, "That's so fucking weird. Like, how does it go that slow? I guess because it's so long." That's another thing. If it would have crashed, it's this big flying wing, right? I remember thinking at one point it's going so slow that it's gonna fucking go like this and just fall on the neighborhood.
All
Okay.
out of the sky.
And, yes. And I'm thinking it'll take out the whole fucking neighborhood, because it's as long as the 4 blocks are wide.
Dang.
Okay. So
That's
it's
much
that
bigger
long,
than
and it's
me, too.
right over the center. So I'm getting to look at, I can see the cockpit. When I was pulling into the yard, I can see windows. Like, on the cone of it at the top, I could see the windows. Like, there's a man in there, like there's a woman or a man, and they're flying that machine, So it comes over the house. Go get my daughter. She comes out. She looks at it too. She says, "Yeah, Dad, I don't know what the fuck that is either." Basically, she said she'd never seen anything like that. And she goes back in. And so me and the neighbor are out there. We're still watching it. And then as it gets towards the end of our block, it kind of speeds up. And then as it starts turning and it banks, it really speeds up. And then it's just gone. I call Papa Willie. It's headed straight towards his house. This guy right here. And I say, "You got to go outside, dude. There's this big ass stealth bomber. It's flying right over the top of your house in like 10 seconds. This thing's cooking now. It's gonna be there right now." And he goes outside. He don't see shit. He never seen it. So okay. So I seen a stealth bomber.
Nice.
And it was cool, and I never seen that before. And then I met Jim Goodall.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling it anyway. I asked Jim on the show, and he didn't really give me an answer. Like, when I told him what I'd seen, he said, "No, like he didn't. He never said exactly what it was, and I thought he would know." Okay. And he just said, "Yeah, I don't think that's a stealth bomber." And I was like,
It was not.
It is, man. It's big. Didn't make no noise or nothing. And he just said, "Yeah,
No.
I don't think that's what it was." And it was kind of like, "Don't ask me that again."
Oh.
That's how I took it. So now
I'll jump in then where Jim won't.
And then I'm on my show, and he's sitting right next to me in the shop. He's not on camera like you guys.
Yeah.
He's right here. and so he's here. I'm being very respectful to that, because I kind of took like he would have answered if he'd have knew, because it's Jim Goodall, and he'll tell you. And so he doesn't really say any more about it, so I don't ask no more about it. But then the spoiler broke on his Corvette, and I had to go fix it out front. And I was working on his car. I asked him again. And Jim, as I was getting up and I was finished, and we were walking back in the yard, and he just turned and stopped me, and he goes, "You did not see a stealth bomber." And I go, yes, I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. And he said, no.
No.
You've seen a stealth bomber that low over your house? He goes, Sonny, it would have blew your eardrums out. He goes, it would have broke every window out of every house in that neighborhood. He goes, and they don't go slow enough for you to go in and get your daughter and then come back.
I've been around V2s quite a few times, and they're loud as hell,
guys.
So loud.
After that happened, that's when I started listening to. I had to find something, okay. And what I did was went to iHeartRadio, and that's how I found UFO Garage. Started listening to them.
Hey.
I never heard anyone explain like what they've ever seen anything like that. Because I hear people say they see those flying triangles and stuff. This ain't that. This ain't no triangle with these cream color dots on it. You know, this is a big, huge boomerang flying through the fucking air. Yeah, that's what it looks like. A boomerang with a bat tail. It's got a look at the back of the cockpit. It's kind of comes off.
Oh, really?
The exhaust tubes are. Yeah. Like the bat symbol, I guess, but without the bat wings. They're just straight wings.
Crazy.
Straight fat wings and get skinnier and skinnier. Somebody asked me one time if they came out to a point. I don't know, because it's actually so wide I can't see the tips of the wings.
Dang.
Right.
So it's because that's out in the dark. Where he's flying over the top of us, we have street lights. I can see this thing because of the street lights. Like, it's that low. That's and slow.
Man.
And then Jim said there's no way. And Jim Goodall would know, guys. After he told me that, it scared me a little bit, because I was the whole time.
I'll back Jim up. I've seen it myself.
I see. Like, how was I so stupid that I thought, because I'm bringing my kid out there, I should probably bring a gun. Because
that's a little weird.
Next, you know, and then set my phone down like an idiot and didn't record that. That was the dumbest thing I ever did. But I never watched any of these shows. I didn't know anything about nothing. And that's the first thing I ever seen. And Papa Willie had seen something, the triangle with the 3 cream colored dots. He has seen that before. He had told me about that. Okay. I thought he was crazy a little bit, but my cousin won't lie to me. He's seen what he's seen, you know? And then I seen that on TV. Okay. What he explained to me, what he's seen. And then I told him, and it's that TR3B thing.
TR3B.
He's seen that. Okay. Is what he's seen. And then now we see it everywhere on TV or whatever. But back then, no one had ever seen that before. It was a long time ago. And so I'd seen that on TV, but I had never seen anything for myself. And then this happened months later. A long time later, I think. It was a long time ago. But that was the first thing I seen, and I really thought I seen a stealth bomber the whole time. And I'm around planes and stuff because our drag races is an old Air Force base, and we have lots of planes and helicopters and jets, and we have fly-in dinners. So people fly different kinds of planes in. And, I'm around aircraft. I just thought I seen something special.
You certainly did.
Yes.
Yeah, but I thought I knew what it was, guys, and I was totally wrong. Like,
it was not a V2.
No,
welcome to the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So that was the very first thing, and that's what got me focused on this, and then looking up in the sky. It's
a wonderful story.
For the black triangle thing that I saw, you know, the second UFO thing I saw, mine was in 1999, right about 7 miles that direction in downtown Wichita, Kansas, where I was at a friend's house. He lives right in the middle of town. Fair amount of light pollution because of the town itself. And I went out into the backyard while he went to the bathroom. We were going to like smoke cigars and drink whiskey and, you know, shit like that. Anytime, because I'm an astronomy nerd, because this is my real background. This is what I have on my wall, you know, galaxies and constellations and, you know, stars. I am a nerd. So whenever I go outside at night, I'm looking up at the sky. And at this point, I joined the Air Force in 1985. This is 1999. I'd had hands-on working on aircraft for many years at that point. And I'm looking up at the stars, and I see like movement over my head. I look up at it, and it was just a shape at first. Honestly, I wasn't even sure I was seeing something because it was like a dark gray with something
Shadow
black
thing.
next to it. It was just, it was like one shade difference from the night sky is what I could tell. It was, I think, to kind of like move ahead a little bit. I think the only reason I could see it was the lights from the city itself were kind of lighting the bottom of whatever it was I was seeing, because there were no lights, no sounds. I think it was triangular, but my big thing is I saw some, I just sensed movement like directly over my head as I was looking up. And as it was moving away from where I was looking, it was, I still wasn't sure I was seeing something. I was like, is it birds? No. Is it, because birds, when they see them at night, you'll see the flapping of the wings where it'll reflect really fast and then there's nothing, and then reflect really fast as they flap their wings. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah.
But whatever it was large enough, and that's where I kind of gathered it. Maybe it was triangular. It was blocking out stars as it was going overhead, because I could certainly see stars even in the middle of, Wichita's not a giant city, so it's not like it's that much pollution that you can't see stars. But I knew where stars were because I'm a nerd, and I could see it blocking stuff out as it went. The biggest difference, I'll use my normal visual aid, which is my Leatherman. Assuming it was triangular shape, we'll use this as a triangle, where normally you would think the point forward moving on the triangle, because that's aerodynamic. What I saw looked more like the flat side was moving forward.
That's what I saw too when I saw a triangle. It was moving like that. It wasn't moving like this pointed arrow was like the head of it. It was moving like how you explained to. So that's really crazy.
I want to hear that story. I want to hear that story right now.
So what I saw was I
have to go, guys. I'm so sorry. It's getting late for me. I've had a rough week, so I really do have to go. I'm so sorry. I'll have to listen back to Catherine's story. I'm so sorry I have to miss it.
Okay, Jess.
But I think
Thank
you so much for inviting me on. I'm so happy I can hang out. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good night, Ren. Good night, Sunny.
You.
See you, Enzo. Thank you, Jess. Have a great show, guys.
Thank you. That was nice. Oh, she's so nice. I love her.
She's great. I love Jess.
Yeah, she's got a good show, guys. She has a great channel.
Okay, so one of these nights I was out here like with my dad, and we were having one of those bonfires. I think Joe was out here with us, but I had my binoculars, and these are military grade binoculars. So they were given to me from my cousin who's a Navy SEAL. So these are pretty good binoculars, and I like to use them in the nighttime. They're not night vision or anything, but we were out there and I saw this shadow thing kind of like moving across the sky, and it was like it looked like it was a triangle, but like you said, Enzo, it was almost like I didn't know if I was seeing it or not, like through the binoculars. It was really hard to tell, except I kind of remember seeing like almost 3 points of light. Like it was a little different than yours, but it definitely at least I know 1 point of light. It wasn't like following, the point of light was not its head direction. So that's how I could see it kind of traveling on its side. And it was actually chasing, or what I thought it was doing was chasing an orb. There was an orb of light ahead of it. And I couldn't see any type of, there was no shape in that orb. It was just a ball of light. And then I saw this triangle thing literally chasing it. And I shot a laser up in the sky. And the orb like jumped. Like it got a jump. Yeah, and the triangle just continued its like continuous motion. And it was really, really weird. But that was like the first time I ever saw like a triangle like that. I don't know. It was kind of how you explained, like I could see it, but I kind of couldn't see it through the binoculars, but I knew something was there because the little stars were being blocked out. But then when it was following the path of the orb, like the orb was not blocking out the stars, so obviously it was a lot smaller. It was really, really like trippy. You know what I mean? So I think that's so crazy, like
I hear
what you said. Yeah.
This is really weird that we're finding like commonality. We've all heard our
Yeah, 'cause
stories,
I
but it's like,
didn't-
wait a minute, I was sort of like that.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Mine was
know that
sort of like
yours.
yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
think
know
it's
the
super
one
crazy.
you seen was that big ass floating triangle, or I mean not triangle, but that big old wing, like boomerang
Yeah.
is what boomerang with a cockpit.
And to be fair, like the thing I saw, it could have been a boomerang, but it's just because it was just a shape, and I kind of got the impression the front of it was flat as it was moving forward, because the way the stars would disappear and then the way that those same stars would reappear as it passed over them was wedge shape. Someone I remember in the chat years ago when I was telling this story again said, well, maybe it was like a mantis ship or what. I was like, well, okay, I guess maybe, that, flat on the front and then trailing off to a point in the back, just a triangle that you don't think of it necessarily, as what you would think of as a flying triangle kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what I saw was certainly odd. And to find out, you saw something very similar. There's something to all of this. This isn't just three different crazy people with totally different stories at totally different times. It's like, wait a minute.
And that's so, yeah.
And mine kind of that's
crazy because yours was so long ago, and mine, well, not so long ago. That sounds dumb, but mine was literally probably
I'll
like
be 56 in 2 weeks. I understand. I'm old.
It's just the technology that they must be having. You know what I mean? Like the leap in technology, they're even still using. I mean, if that were even the same technology that you saw, that would be like nuts, and it's still not even given to the public. So it's just, yeah, it's crazy to think about. I loved your story, Sunny, about how you got into this, because I never heard that. That was the first time I've heard that story of like what made you get into this field. And I think that's the fact that Ben and Joe were on like iHeartRadio, and you were like, that's so sick. I didn't know they were on iHeartRadio and stuff. That's
how I found them. That's how I found them. And then, hold on, guys. I'm so sorry.
Oh, dang. Makes me want to go square dancing. Let's go square dancing now. Yeah. Have you ever been square dancing, Endo?
Actually, because maybe just because I'm old, I remember in high school they would have, when I went through high school, millions of years ago, they had, the boys were on one side of the partition of the gym, and the girls were on the other side of the partition, and occasionally they would open the partition. And we had like a square dancing kind of thing where it was just a record that they would play. And basically it's like, okay, choose your partner. It's like, whoever it was, you grab the, nearest girl. And then,
that wasn't square dancing. That was South Park.
Oh no. That honestly, it really was. It was in the same league as, did you ever have the thing where you had a parachute? It was like an old school three-tone parachute where, you would lift it all up as a class
or something. Yeah.
It was that level of kind of a gym activity, something to keep the kids busy for, 45 minutes until the next class is really what it was.
No, that makes sense. That's cool though. See, my school, I had a really like small high school growing up, so we never had anything fun like that. It was just like science, math, a few extracurriculars. I think like we were given the option, like music was an extracurricular, but like that was barely an option because this school is so small and everything, you know what I mean? So we did not have experiences like that. And I think it honestly like made the high school experience like worse. Because then kids don't interact. They don't want to interact with each other. You know what I mean? They're not like, it's almost important, I feel like, for like teenagers to kind of be like forced to socialize, because then they learn etiquette and then they learn how to talk to people and how to act. And that's so cool. Like I would have never, like in high school, like that's such a smart thing. Nowadays, high school places would never do something like that, but they should.
Probably not. Yeah. It is. I mean, obviously, it was a different time, and all of that. But I don't feel like, we didn't necessarily, my generation didn't necessarily destroy the planet.
Yeah.
We were well on our way. That had nothing to do with me before any of that. So if anything, we kind of kept it a slightly safer, I feel, for a few years anyways. But it's definitely different. It's a very different animal nowadays. And something as simple as that, I mean, it was obviously much like you said, it's very educational. You learn those basic human interaction kind of things versus, depending on this to raise you.
Literally.
It's psychotic to do that. But
I have some people that ask me how I go up in the mountains for so long and without my cell phone
internet.
Or
Yeah.
internet or
That's the best part.
it's
Yeah.
easy because I grew up that way. I didn't have
Right.
the internet until I was probably 23, 24.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yep. And I don't think I had a cell phone until I was 19. And it was a cell phone in a bag that you carried around like a big old bag.
Oh, wow, that was before my time even.
And then I went from that to the brick when they came out with the brick, had the big old Motorola brick. And guys, we call it a brick because it's the exact same size as a brick.
As a brick.
Literally a brick.
You can bash someone with that son of a bitch too.
That's why they got rid of them.
Plastic. Yeah.
But honestly, how do you think if you could have kept that phone, would you have kept it? I mean, it's still, things like that are so much more durable.
Yeah, because it would still work right now. And
You certainly want to upgrade the battery. The battery tech would be different. But
if our phones are 2 watts, those damn phones put out, I think we're like 6.5 or something like that. So
yeah, just nuking your brain.
Strong as fuck all the time. It's like using a house phone all the time.
Really? I don't know any of this. That's crazy.
Yeah, phones got better, guys, but the signal has got worse. Like it was like back then, or their phone receiver for the signal has gotten worse. They've went way down in watts. And
why is that, guys? Like, where do you guys think that?
Yeah, you had a little antenna that you would have to pull out on it. On your phone.
No, mine had that fixed black stubby little.
Oh, you had one. Okay.
It was the first
So
one.
you had the fancy toys.
As soon as it came out, that was. Yep. I used to deliver batteries for the battery shop, so sometimes I would get stuck. And when cell phones got invented, those ones, it was nice to have those. Even the bag, I had that bag for probably a year, but everyone had that had a cell phone. There wasn't any other cell phones. Trust me, it was cool shit. When it was in your truck, and my truck was a 79. It was an old one. You plug it into your cigarette lighter, and when the phone rang, it would honk your horn. So if you were somewhere eating and your phone's ringing in the truck, your horn's going, honk.
That is so crazy. That's so cool, though. That's funny.
So you could go out and take the call. Oh, so I could just be dicking off in the work truck and have that thing plugged in. And then, yeah, anytime they tried to call me, the horn would be honking.
That's so funny. People would never have that now. Like, that would never.
Oh, no way.
That is so funny, though. Can you imagine? You're just like getting gas, and all of a sudden somebody's like car starts just fucking like going crazy. You know what I mean? You think somebody's breaking in, but you're just getting a phone call. Dude, like,
I've done it before, like trying to check the fucking radiator water and shit like that. And got a phone call about blew me out of the hood of the truck. Fucking, oh god damn! I've done that myself.
Hit your head like over your head almost. Oh my gosh.
Just communication wise, just amongst our own generations right here on screen right now, it's I remember as a kid where someone would go like, hey, can I borrow your phone to call? The first thing out of their mouth was, is it long distance? Meaning the next county over was considered a long distance call, and it would cost more to call that number versus today where you're just like, I'm going to call somewhere in Europe and it's not going to matter that kind of thing. And honestly, in just a few years, and this is apparently a real deal, the way that Elon Musk is working his network stuff with the Starlink stuff, you're going to be able to make a phone call from anywhere on the fucking planet with just your regular phone. It's not going to have to be a satellite phone or anything. The satellites themselves are going to be like cell phone towers.
Cool.
So it doesn't matter. Oh, like right now, like the place where I went to my little Paracon thing here a couple weeks back. It is. I have Verizon. That's what I use. That's what's best for where I live here near Wichita. It's where the place they had this thing at it's an AT&T town. I got zilch for a signal. There was a guy, actually, he lived like out in the middle of nowhere the night before, and I was able to get like 1 bar with my Verizon phone. It was still enough to like impress people because I was using apps on my phone to like pull up satellite stuff. It's like, oh look, there's the International Space Station, there's the Chinese space station, stuff like that, which freaked the ghost people out because we had this kind of like a barbecue get together of all the people that were speakers at the Paracon the next day. We're all invited. The ghost people had no idea that this is something that you could do, that you could just have apps on your phone that show, okay, see that's Saturn right there. Oh, you see that light that's moving? That's not a plane. That's actually the International Space Station and things like that. The Bigfoot people are like, yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, I get it. Honestly, that is cool. But yeah, I kind of knew that was a thing that was possible. Ghost people, no, they had no idea.
I wonder
it was
why.
funny seeing that weird dichotomy because I don't know. It's just the weird thing. And that was actually one of the reasons for the whole thing, that was to get these 3 different groups, ghost people, cryptid people, and UFO people, talking to each other.
I think that is what happened with me starting to see everything. Even I still say right now I can go outside and record something.
I've seen you do it.
Yep, I can do it right now.
You
And
like
I can go,
within
look,
minutes
Brian and Enzo and everyone in chat, this is what I recorded right now. That way it's right now. And I don't know what the fuck that thing is though, but they float over this house all the time. They're just those little floating light balls. And at first I thought they were satellites. And then one floated by one day and I thought, damn, that space station's getting low. And I actually filmed it for Jake. Sent it to Jake. So yeah, in the video you hear, damn, Jake, look at this one. This is the lowest one I ever seen. Well, it's coming from the west, okay, and it's like traveling straight down the street. And at one point, you actually see the phone wires in the shot of the picture because it's nighttime, but you can see the phone wires still in the sky, and you see it's going along there. Well, then you see it just turns and it takes off and starts going north, and it's totally traveling away from the phone wires now. I don't know what those are. And then I've also seen Rin in my house.
I remember you telling me.
It still scares me. I seen an orb in the house.
Yeah.
This little bubble. Okay. And for you guys that haven't heard the story in chat, I'll tell you guys. My son-in-law was cleaning a chicken in the kitchen. So a baked chicken, he's deboning it. Okay. He's taking all the meat off of this baked chicken. Make burritos and stuff out of it. So he's deboning this chicken, and I think he's in there doing dishes because I'm standing in the living room, and what separates the kitchen from the living room in my house is our couch. It's a big opening that goes in. There's a dining room and a kitchen, and the couch is what separates that. So it's like my little wall. Okay, I'm standing on the other side of the couch. In between us, there's this bubble, that floated from the sink because he's doing dishes is what I think. So I think this bubble floated from the sink, and I tell him, Enzo, it still spooks me to even talk about it because it was just the strangest thing that's ever happened to me. Okay, I would rather see the spaceships or whatever the hell I seen float over the house all day long. Okay, because it was over the house, not in my fucking house.
Well, this is in your home. This is where you
in my
live.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tell my son-in-law, I go, Israel, look at this. A bubble made it all the way from the sink all the way over here. And he turns around, looks at me, and he's like, what are you talking about? And he's got chicken grease all over his hands. And I go, oh, I thought you were doing dishes. I go, did you just wash your hands right now? Or I go, what? He goes, no. And he's still got his hands up. And I go, do you see this thing? And he goes, no. And he doesn't see it. So now I'm like, well, it's a bubble, and I'm looking down the hallway now, okay? And I tell Deanna, so taking a fucking shower? Did a fucking bubble float out of the bathroom and all the way in here? You know? And no one's in the shower. He's deboning the chicken, and there's this bubble floating between us in the kitchen and the living room. This little circle. And so I tell him, you see it? He says, no. Come here. So now we meet each other just around the couch. Okay. So now it's directly in front of us. And I point at it and I go, it's right there. And I pull him, I grab him like this and I pull him in close to me. And I go, it's right there. And he goes, oh shit. You know, now he sees it. So now that we both see it, it's a bubble that looks like a bubble full of smoke or something. It's like moving around. Okay. So it's a weird looking bubble. And it's kind of grayish, see-throughish, grayish blue. You know, not blue, but just this like smoke. Okay, it's this weird color. Because we're that close to it now, you can see it good. You know, and so now I tell him, okay, I'm gonna pop it, and I stick my finger out to pop this bubble. Okay, guys, and when my finger gets about this close to this bubble, it shoots straight up, fast, and goes. I want to say it popped, guys. But it went through the ceiling. It shot straight up and went through the ceiling. And when we all seen that, I freaked the fuck out. And I went, what the fuck was that? And my son-in-law stayed perfectly calm. And he goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. He's a Mexican kid and they're Catholic. And he said, my mom said that's just a spirit. It's just a spirit. It's okay. So it's nothing to be scared of. We see those in our house all the time. And I was like, oh. And him and my daughter lived with me at the time, so he lived here, and yeah, and since they moved out, I've never seen anything else. So
originally he didn't see it, right?
No, he didn't. I had to
out?
pull him in and pointed at it, and then because it was just a bubble hanging, like just I'm only 5 foot tall, so it's hanging about 6 feet in the air. It was just that high, just floating, not floating like a bubble. It's just stationary in one spot the whole time. It never moved. It never moved. It wasn't floating around the kitchen. It was just hanging there. That I would say a bubble caught in a single spider web is what you would have seen. Like if that would keep it still. Okay. It was perfectly still. That's why I was going to pop it. And as soon as I tried to touch it, it just straight up through the ceiling. I want to say it popped, guys, so I can make sense out of it. That's not what none of us seen. It went straight through the ceiling and just kept going, and then I don't know.
Do you think that like any of these, or I mean, people talk about it all the time, but do you think that any of this could be connected to our own consciousness? Like they could see us, or they could like feel whatever it is, like it could feel what we're feeling. You know what I mean? Do you think that maybe any of what we see could have that?
I think I told this story before to Bobby Scout. And she told me, I think it was Bobby, and she said, if you would have touched that, you would have known what it was. That's what scared me. That's what scared me. Okay, guys, that's what really scared me. Yeah, because
we would know too.
She said that was a spirit. Basically, if I'd have touched it, I would have known what it was, you know, or something. Like it was scary to me. And
yeah,
I don't know what that was. I to this day, that's still like that's strange. Like it's so strange. I don't tell it very much, and I tell you guys everything, and that's a strange one. That one's kind of spooky.
I personally feel that there's this is just my personal opinion to kind of understate it a little bit is I feel that our senses, our sense of smell, our sense of taste, our sight, our hearing are actually pretty good sensors, but our brain is only able to process so much of that much input coming in, where our brain has filters which are like, okay, this is not important, this is important, you need to know this, usually dealing with something that's a threat, that's something that's a danger, something that's you have to be aware of because it may kill you, that kind of thing, that survival type instinct. Because we've all had like issues like we've all gone out and given our ages, gone out and purchased a new car, or at least a new to you car, and you do your research, you save your money. Okay, this is the one, I'm going to buy this car. You buy the car. The second you start driving it around, you start noticing that same exact car everywhere you look as you're driving down the street. Those cars have always been there, but your brain filters it out because it's like, that's not important. But once you own one of those, it's like you need to recognize which one is yours and which one is someone else's. So it's one of those things that it's as dumb as it is to say that after you buy a new car, that suddenly you're seeing your car everywhere. It's something that happens to everyone, and it's certainly one of those indicators that those cars were always there. Your brain has filtered it out because it wasn't important at that time. Oh, you don't own that car, it's not important that you notice every single instance of whatever your car is driving down the street. It's or at the mall parking lot or whatever it is, grocery store parking lot. It filters it out because it's not important. You decide, oh crap, I need to go buy something that I need to make this dinner. It's one thing. I just need to run to this grocery store down in the corner, pick up the one thing to make the dinner. You drive to the corner, you buy the one thing, you come back. You noticed that entire route. You should be able to recall how many blue cars there were, how many red cars there were. How many different people did you have to wait in line behind? Was there somebody that was arguing with somebody else in the store? All of these things, but you filter all that stuff out because it's not important. It's not a life-threatening thing that you don't need to worry about. So it all gets shoved off to the side. I personally believe, my personal belief again, no, nobody's saying anything here that you have to believe it. I feel that like UFOs and ghosts and cryptids and all of these things that our brain filters out because it's considering it not important, are kind of there all the time, but our brains are like, okay, this is an immediate threat, so it's not important. It's this is more important kind of a thing. There's this weird cue in your brain, our own psychology, that has determined what's important and what's not important from a survival type aspect.
That's crazy. And I know, okay, oh my gosh, that makes so much
it's
sense.
It's psychotic. I understand.
It's psychology, no, but it makes sense. I mean, it's so interesting, and it's what it's what's interesting. Okay, so this is going to be like a crazy example, and you guys can call me crazy because it was just like weird, but it was probably the best way that my brain like made connections to make me feel like safe and okay. But like, so when all of like this UFO stuff happened, like I started to get super bad like anxiety, like subconscious like anxiety. Like I felt like safe, where I was. Like I was in like my normal places, but like subconsciously, like I would not be able to like do simple things like eat. You know what I mean? Because like subconsciously I wouldn't feel like safe. And so something was going on like with the subconscious, and then it started to get even more embarrassing because I started to watch this stupid show about like mermaids or whatever. And it made me feel like, okay, like it gave like some life to like what was going on with like the UFO world or whatever. But as I started to watch this show, and I'm like sweating telling you guys this because it's so it makes me feel so embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed.
Every time I would get into like the shower, my hands would become like just like I would like my body was like reacting to like the show, or like it was like acting like you guys, I think like Sunny saw, I don't know if you remember, Enzo, but like I was having such bad like autoimmune reactions to like water, and I was watching a show where like it was showing people like change. It was so freaking weird, you guys. It literally made me feel crazy. Like it was so weird, and I don't think there's a connection. I don't know what, I'm not saying there's a connection. I'm just drawing a connection from what you said, from what I was going through and what was happening physically, because it was so like the coincidences were just like so alarming. I don't know if it was like my brain just trying to be like, watch the show, it'll make you feel better, but at the same time it wasn't making me feel better, because I was so like worried about all that UFO stuff that like subconsciously I think I was just freaking out, and like I was just having really weird like immune reactions to it. But it's the fact that like subconsciously we pick all of these things up, you know what I mean, and we'll just filter it out because we don't need it now. We don't like
Right.
like I've like the UFO phenomenon has always been real, and I was always like afraid of it. But then it started becoming more like mainstream, to where like I could, like my subconscious could not get away from it. You know what I mean? Like my subconscious like couldn't filter it out. It was really weird. So like what you're saying kind of makes sense. I mean, it 100% makes sense. What I'm saying kind of makes sense. But you are making me have like connections, and I love that.
I like I said, guys, you guys know I'm a skeptic, right? Like shit, I found
Right.
Bigfoot prints, guys. I found Bigfoot prints. I know that's what it is. I don't want to say it out loud because I don't have a picture of it. I just have a picture of those things that I found in the ground, the prints. So
Dude, and that's like all we have is like pictures now.
Have you ever heard of something like that, Lynn, or Rin, and then went out and tried it, like something you didn't believe in?
That was with this UFO stuff. Yeah, like this was literally the UFO phenomenon. Like you guys, like I remember when I was in high school, like, and I know this sounds so sad, I was so freaking scared of this phenomenon. I was like, if this is real, I'm offing myself. Like, I'm not gonna be here. Like, because I was so scared. Like, it wasn't even like a thing. You know what I mean? Until I actually like stop.
Oh, that was Skinny Bob. That shit's scary real right there.
You see, that's a real reaction.
I apologize. That was just kind of express the point.
Skinny Bob, that one's very real.
Those, you guys, you saw it. It's like it like literally forced me to get, like, I had to just get over my fear. You know what I mean? I had to just look out in the sky. I had to literally look at it for myself. So yeah.
I went out, Rin, and the Army barracks where we have the drag races. These are abandoned Army barracks. So we had ghost investigators on here. We were talking to them, and people do seances. We've had witches on here. We've had lots of people on the show. So I've heard lots of stories. And you guys are maybe right. Maybe that opens up your perspective and you start seeing things that you didn't notice before.
Or things start happening.
Ghost stuff, I found it hard to believe. And me and Papa Willie in his house when we grew up, okay, we could say, damn it, that door is wide open. If it we could say George, shut that door, please. And the door would just shut. And sometimes it slams, but I mean, it usually would shut nice and smooth. And as kids, we never thought anything about that. So we got older. Then we thought about it. Like, how the fuck was that happening? Was somebody playing tricks on us? Like we started to get teenagers now. We started to think about that stuff. I think when Billy looked it up, the guy that owned that house before, his name was George, and he died there. We just called that because it's George the Ghost, Curious George or whatever.
I also had an instance of Ed George the Ghost when I was a kid. That's so bizarre.
Holy shit.
What?
Oh, okay,
No.
So back to the barracks, friend. I decide I'm going to walk through the barracks with my phone. And I'm going to record everything because this is some spooky ass shit, right? These are fucking abandoned Army barracks from the 40s.
Yes.
So I go through the barracks. I'm in this little venture about, I'd say, a good 45 minutes to an hour. And I have a minute of the video right here. Okay. And you're going to see me walk through a room into a shower room that goes into a hallway. I go to the right and there's a bathroom there. All right. I turn around, I come back to the left, and I walk right past the shower thing again. And I say, all these bathrooms in here makes me have to pee. But when I say that, something smacks the wall behind me so fucking hard that I freeze. I have a 1911 on my hip. I have a gun on, and I freeze with the phone. I can't even turn around. Like, I'm that scared. I don't even remember what I'm saying, but it's like, oh, fuck no, or nope, or no, or something. I just can't. That's all I could say. And then I finally turn around so I could shine the light back. I don't even want to look behind me because I think it's going to be someone in there to jump out and scare me or something, you know. So it takes me a minute to walk back through there, and there's absolutely nothing or nobody in there. So that was the end of the video. I got the fuck out of there, and I've never done that shit again. That was scary. You can hear it. I'll play the video. You'll hear the
Play the video.
thump
Please do.
behind me. Let's see if it works on here.
Because you had some other oddities in that video, as I recall. So
Yeah, let's see. Well, you also, okay, these are plaster walls. So all the plaster's falling off these walls. It's all over the floor. So when I'm walking through there, you're just hearing
dusty.
crunch.
Yeah.
That's me crunching. Okay, through there, making all that noise. But that's smacking the fucking wall. There's nobody there. I'm in the middle of nowhere, guys, out at the drag races. There's nobody there. So here we go. I'll bring it up. See if it plays. Now I really gotta pee. Seeing all these toilets. Oh no. Nope. Oh hell no. Something. I'm gonna do it again because it happened faster than I thought it was gonna happen.
It was like that slap.
That slap. Okay, listen to it again. Now I really gotta pee. Seeing all these toilets. Oh no. Nope. Oh hell no. Something just, man. Well, now I really gotta pee. Something just moved or fell over in there. We just walked through there. There's nothing in there. This is so scary. This is so way too scary. Hold on.
it sounds like you're about to crunch through the floor, just walking around in there.
Over here.
Jeez, yeah, that's crazy.
Chief!
I would not go in there. His dog's like, I'm not coming in. No, Dad, no.
I'm sorry, my granddaughter.
Ghosts in there. I'm
came in.
not coming in there.
My granddaughter just came in and the fucking dog ran out. I'm sorry, guys. But yes. Come in this way, baby. I was waiting for her. She was at the football game. So she's just getting home. And she's little. You been drinking? No. Okay.
No.
Yes.
Drinking.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking.
She was with her friend. But yeah, okay, guys, that's what happened. That could thunk. And I was genuinely scared. That's not fucking acting.
No, that place looks super creepy.
I was scared with my gun. And
you said it was.
I stood there for so long because my hand's on my gun. And that's when you're waiting for someone to jump out and say, rah, and you don't want to pull your gun out and shoot them. So I'm standing there just quiet, like somebody's got to breathe, you know? Nothing. So I was scared. I was stuck in that spot scared. because
How
that
long were you guys in
fucking
there
loud
for?
inside there. I know you don't hear it as loud as I did on the. You're not hearing it like I did. It was so loud. It was scary. And then also when I'm playing the video, I'll play it again for a minute right now so you guys can see. When I turn around, I'm saying, "Oh no, no, no!" There's a fucking handprint on the wall.
What?
I never
know
noticed it
that.
before. And Willie goes, "Holy shit, dude! Was that handprint on the wall before you heard that noise?" So we had to go back in the video and watch. And when I walked through there and I turned, the handprint's on the wall already. So that handprint was already there. In case you guys seen
It's
that
always there.
handprint, that was always there. That was there before that noise happened. But it did sound like it was that close behind me. Like it was so loud. It was so loud. That's why you're not hearing it loud on the phone, because it actually muted my phone a little bit because I'm talking, so it muted that part out. But it's so loud that it still comes over my voice of me talking. But it's fucking loud. Here, I'll play it again so you guys can see the handprint this time. It's gonna be up on this side for you guys. Yeah, there you go. Now I really gotta pee. Seeing all these toilets. Oh no. Nope. Oh hell no. Something just, man. Well, now I really gotta pee.
The handprint was on the doorway.
Yep, that was always
See it?
there.
Yeah.
We went back and
Okay.
checked, and that was already there when I walked through the door. So that wasn't, yeah. I didn't pick up no
That's
ghost
crazy.
handprint or anything. But I damn sure picked up a noise of an empty fucking building with me, the only person in it. It's loud and it scares the shit out of me. That's it, dude. That's really the end of the video. That's why I don't take my gun out. I have to wait because you let some stupid idiot jump out and go woogie boogie, you know. That's what happened. Don't scare me. You're Jason. Oh, speaking of that, guys, I did try to invite Kane, the guy that played Jason, for the show.
Are you serious?
Yep, and Jess laughed at me. She goes, because I told her, I think maybe I should have did that maybe a month ago, not 4 days ago. Jess was laughing. She goes, 4 days ago. And I go, yeah.
Friday the 13th. I'm sure no one else has thought of doing that. Yeah.
And then,
It's like you guys when you're like,
of a guy that was on. They said he was Jason, and I was like, dude, that ain't Jason. And then I realized that there's more than one guy. I've never seen any of the movies. That's kind of why I wanted to have him on. I've only seen parts of them. I don't watch scary movies.
I've never seen any of those scary movies. I actually don't really recall any scary movies that I've ever watched, to be honest with you.
None at all?
No, I'm not big into scary movies. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So like, I obviously was like super afraid of aliens when I was little. So like, I never wanted to even like get into any type of like scary movie. So yeah, Halloween is very interesting for me.
Well, yeah. See, I don't know. I went out for Halloween when I was a kid, but I don't get into it like that. Like I don't be watching scary movies and shit during Halloween or none of that good stuff. Damn it. I chapped my damn lips going from the mountains to the drag races. This morning I woke up sneezing and split my fucking lip open, and it hurt so bad.
While sneezing?
Yeah, and now every time I smile, it cracks, dude. It hurts so bad. And I don't wear chapstick. My buddy told me never put chapstick on, because if you use it one time, he said it was like crack cocaine. You have to use it every day, 5 times a day. So I've never put chapstick on. The guy that told me that, I think, still uses chapstick to this day. I bet he told me that 20 years ago. I bet he still uses it to this day.
Don't make him a bad person.
Yeah, he's my good buddy. He's tattooed on my forearm right here.
You have to use, what is it called? And not Invisalign. They have not chapstick. It's a different brand other than chapstick. Vaseline. Use Vaseline. Vaseline is better than chapstick.
Absolutely.
They have they have it for your they have it for your lips. It's in like a little thingy. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a little tub that you have to like stick your
That's
finger
like
in.
put chapstick on there though, because it'll moisten your lips up, and then your lips get used to it. He said
Chapstick sucks.
it makes your lips sissies, I guess. So I guess I got to just deal with them cracking. That shit hurts.
You can like build up lip immunity.
It was windy as fuck at the drag races, and then hot in the daytime and cold as shit at night. And that never happens to me. I never like get it like that. First, I thought maybe I got sick and got a cold sore, and then I was like, no, it's just dry. And then I woke up and smiled, and it fucking just cracked in a straight line. I was like, what the shit? My lips are cracking. And then, I didn't put Vaseline on there. I went and took a shower and was putting soap all on my lips. Like, moisten up, motherfuckers. But I'm scared to put
that's not
because it's gonna make them worse, is what I hear.
What water good, soap bad in that instance. But honestly, if you just opened your mouth and drank some of the water coming out of the faucet, would have been more helpful than anything else.
Shit, I sleep with a Gatorade next to my bed, not even water. If I wake up thirsty, it's
my best friend.
Yeah, I can't have Gatorade. I don't drink it. I have a history of kidney stones, which turns Gatorade into just rocks.
I didn't know that. I ain't never had one of them.
Oh, no, it's ugly. You don't want it. You never want one of those.
I'm drinking sweet tea right now.
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah, I put, I don't know, man. It's like the 3 months that's the hunting months. I have to come home at the end of them, and then go to the drag races, and then I'll go back hunting. I still got another month left. Maybe not this year though, but they take a toll on me, man. I start getting tore up this time of year. Like I've lost like 20 pounds. I'm coming down.
Wow.
I broke 200. I'm back under. I'm back under 200.
Have you had your first frost out there yet?
No. Well, in the mountains, yeah. Fucking frozen every morning. But not where I live, no. I'm only 420 feet elevation. 420. Better smoke to that.
That's kind of the same with here.
Yeah. It varies. When the tide goes in and out, we go up and down here. Either that or California's floating.
What?
Yeah, because it changes a good. I don't know. I have to go get my watch. My watch is cool. I got a hunting watch, guys, that tells me the tides and the altitudes. So yeah, I get to see the tide come up and the altitude raise and lower. Ren, I know you got to take off soon.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I'm so happy that you guys had me, and I'm of course free next week. So if you guys want to have another show, like hit me up. I'm totally down to co-host and continue to co-host because I love this. So I just wanted to say that, and I had a lot of fun tonight, and I just want to say thanks for having me, and I'm so happy Jess came on. It's really cool to have another girl to talk to, you know what I mean? Obviously I love you guys, but there's not that many female voices in this field, so it's always nice to have another girl there, you know what I mean? So if there's any other girls that ever want to come up and talk with me, please do. I don't bite. You're always welcome. So
I got a wig back there, really. It's right back there in the chair. I'll put it on if it makes you feel more comfortable. I could be like, girl, what you want to talk about then?
Oh my gosh. Sunny, one day you're going to have to. One day we'll have to put that in the works. So I just wanted to say bye, and I love you guys, and I had a lovely time, and just thank you, everyone. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye. And then I'll
see you soon.
Sunny and Enzo. I'll hit you up on Instagram. Bye, everyone.
She's got it now.
That's it. She's taking over.
Yep. She can run the show now, guys. She was figuring it out tonight before we
Got
started.
the keys to the castle.
She's gonna be a good co-host. I love having her on here.
She is. Yeah,
She's gonna pick up on this quick, dude.
Oh yeah.
She'll be booking her own shows. I'll be able to go hunting and not have to come home. I won't do that to her.
Yeah, you will.
I don't know. November, the reason, like I have to get it done soon if I'm going to do it, because Jeff Leeson, guys, he said November he's free in the middle of November, and then he told me, message me back when you get back from the drag races, and and then I'll know more, in November. So I messaged him and told him I'm back. You just let me know when, and I'll set up the show. Jeff Leeson is a comedian, y'all, and he is very funny. If you don't know who this man is, you can look him up on YouTube. There's clips of him everywhere. I've been following him for a while now. It's actually been so long, I think, Enzo, that if you go look him up on Facebook, you can go, he's got a Facebook page. You can't message him, but I can still, because now he's got Amazon.
You got the secret access.
Yeah, he's got an Amazon Prime special out now. So if you guys have Prime, it's free with Prime Video. You go check out Jeff Leeson. And I am telling you, I haven't been following him this long for no reason. When I first seen him, I knew in my head that this is going to be one funny dude right here, and every time I see him, he just gets funnier and funnier. That special is hilarious. His special's called My Grandmother Used to Heckle Me, or Grandma Used to. We better pull it up. You pulling it up now, Enzo?
I'm looking. Hang on.
Okay. It's on Prime. It's new, 2023. I think it just came out maybe a couple of months ago.
I'll go direct with Prime. Hang on a second.
I can download videos from Prime to my phone, guys. So when you hear me saying I'm watching TV in the mountains, I am watching TV. I'm watching movies. I download them to my phone, and you would not believe how many movies this fucking phone will hold. I put about 70 movies on here between Amazon Prime and Netflix and Peacock. I'll have like 70 movies on that phone. Every comedy movie you could think of. But I watched his special while I was up there, and it was hilarious, man.
We're just listening to me type, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They were asking if Lila got here. My grandkid. But they were supposed to call me before she got here, and then she got here, and then they called. So yeah, Jeff Leeson, like I say, guys, it's one funny dude. Did you find that, or I can pull it up?
Hang on a second. I got it.
All right.
Used to heckle me. If you have Amazon Prime, you can click and go direct. Jeff Leeson. Grandma used to heckle me.
Was that it? Grandma used to heckle me? Yeah. It's going to be funny.
Yeah,
that's
what
some
you
reason.
said, right?
And I'm not being mean. Both of them good looking dudes. But he looks just like Jake to me.
Jake.
Yes. He looks like Jake. I want here. Let's see. I'll pull him up. You guys tell me what y'all think. But he looks like Jake to me. Yeah. Oh, you get a shot of him here.
That's him.
Yeah. I'd like to have Jake up here on the panel when he's here. That would be fun.
It'd be good to hear from Jake. We haven't heard from him or others in the family for quite a while.
Yeah, I still talk to Jake and Chad all the time. They're just busy guys. They're off doing their thing now. I was just talking to Jake today, actually. We message each other about every day. But yeah, this guy's gonna be funny, man. He's I've seen him actually. I I went and looked him up one time after a long time ago is when I asked him to be on the show. Okay. So right after I asked him, I went and looked him up, and he had did a show like this a fucking week earlier, or maybe a month earlier. What? It wasn't very
Wow.
fucking. And so I opened those guys' show, and it was fucking hilarious. Just him and 5 guys on a panel, and he picked them all apart. Funniest shit you'll ever see in your life. It was as good as watching his show. I mean, I couldn't believe how much entertainment he made out of 5 people. We do it all the time. How do
Oh,
we
yeah.
not get that much entertainment though? You know, like he gets it. I mean, it was just going.
We're not as savage. Well, in his instance, he's not coming back necessarily right away quick. It's like we still need to maintain a friendship and things like that, where we won't dig that deep.
And I'm quick-witted, I'm funny, you know, but not like him. He's fast. He's got something for everything, guys.
Yeah, those would be good times. And when is that again? What date?
November.
Can we, look?
I don't know yet. He'll be freed up in November, so he's gonna have free time sometime in the middle of November.
A couple more weeks then.
Yeah, a couple weeks anyway. Few weeks. I can't remember if he finished that schedule. I don't think he did. He still might be on tour. But I think it's always like back east or something. Like he's in Chicago and stuff like that. He's never here. I haven't seen him in California before any closer. I think he's from Canada. Yeah, he's from Canada. Oh, I've heard him slip an A in there. He can't hold those A's back. So you wear those Crocs tonight, eh? Yeah,
he's going, eh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think he's from Canada. Yeah, the Prime show, that one was just funny. I mean, that was good. It was good. His mom announces him. That's pretty awesome. He has his mom. Yeah, it's funny.
I haven't seen that one. I have to check it out. A masterful blend of traditional stand-up comedy and long-form improv, taking the audience on a journey while they witness the show being created right in front of their eyes, as Canadian comedian Jeff Leeson delights us with all his off-the-cuff, freewheeling style of stand-up.
That's right. And for all you guys watching now, and for everyone that views it later, if you go look him up, tell him Paranormal Chop Shop sent you guys, and then tell him to hurry up and get his ass on here. We're waiting for him in November. When he knows we're advertising his special, and yeah, maybe he'll stop by. I hope. Be nice.
I should hope so. After all this build-up,
I don't want to have to fly to Canada to watch this guy. That's one thing. I don't do the show. Shut up! I don't think I've really seen too many bookings. Like when I look for his bookings, I don't see too many in Canada. It's always he's just traveling. I don't know how he gets to all those damn places. But he's all over back there. It's just if he has made it to California, maybe he didn't like it, don't want to come back. That's probably what happened. He's probably played here before. It was like, I'm never going back.
Which, I mean, seriously, can you blame him? I mean,
came outside and the bus wheels and shit were gone. I watched a thing today that was the worst places to live in California, and I couldn't believe that the worst place to live in California is a place called Mendota. I could spit across this town. It's that small.
I was about to say, how many seconds would it take to walk there from where you live?
There's 2 stoplights in that fucking town. One in the beginning and one at the end. And there's about 2 gas stations. They got a Burger King.
Oh,
They got a
wow.
chevron. They got a chevron. We go there to go fishing.
Didn't know we were dealing with big time here. Come on now.
They have the sloughs there, so we go there to go fishing. But yeah, they say it's like a horrible place to live, and it's right next to Kerman. Like it's 4 miles from Kerman. It's a 5-minute drive. Drive fast. Sorry, bug zapper. Got a big one.
Yeah,
Like a
got
frog
the,
got
got
in
the
there.
monsters out there.
Hell, there's a bat in there, dude. They're gonna short the whole house out.
You're gonna bring down the whole grid with that had a human face, whatever it had on there. It was.
If there was fairies around here, there ain't no more of them. I don't know if those little
They're
things
all
are real,
toast.
but they're one that just got stuck in there. I think. Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, Mendota, that little ass place. Who the fuck would? What? How can it be bad? There's not enough people there. I don't get it. But it was
Meant to be bad though.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
Do you find like people exaggerate kind of things like that where oh my god, this is so awful, and it's like no, they're just regular people. You just are extra sensitive, kind of a thing, or is it really that bad?
It's pretty bad in Fresno. It's bad here. Not where I live is in the country. The only problem is people that are going to do bad things, they come out here to do it because I live in the middle of nowhere. So this is a good empty street right here. The houses are fucking a mile apart, except from the one right next door to me.
You have skinwalkers stalking your neighborhood.
It's country out here, and I live in the middle of like 120 acres of almonds. There's almonds on both sides. So people like to come out here and do bad things out in the trees. You don't see them out there. That's the only bad part of being out in the country. I've went out there and looked before at a car parked out there in the trees. And dude pulled a gun out. He shot that motherfucker over there. It's Fresno's dangerous. And that's out here in the country. In town's really dangerous.
Oh God.
One of the package delivery guys, I won't drop the name, I guess, but he just told me he was over downtown area, and he goes, "This guy I see all the time." He's a homeless guy. He goes, he was there in his truck, and he walked in a store and stabbed the shit out of this clerk in the heart and killed him. And I was like,
Jesus.
He goes, "Yeah, the guy's totally normal. I see him all the time. He waves to me." And he snapped that day, or yesterday, or today, I guess.
Shit.
Today's when he told me. But yeah, so it's dangerous in some parts of California.
I would like to think that there's kind of everywhere kind of has that shady underbelly kind of a thing that it's not specific to your area, but everywhere could be a little underhanded. But what was that? I heard that. What was that?
I don't know. You go check.
What was that noise?
That's something outside howling.
That was definitely like a creature howling kind of a
something earlier right out here, and now that's out back. It's closer. I told you.
What the fuck was that?
That's that big ass black wolf. I'm gonna shoot it this time.
Silver bullets?
I don't fucking know. I can't. I told you. I think that I don't know what that is. That's big though, huh? That's a good one.
I certainly heard that over my audio at least. It was like,
that was loud.
What was that noise?
It got my attention. Rocky went straight out there too, so it's something.
Which had he like turned around and cowered in the corner, then that's very different. But that's something he went to investigate. So that, to me at least, that seems that's something natural. Yeah.
nothing scares him like that. Those tracks though, I do put him in that first track that I found and told him to hunt it up, and all he does
like,
is pick up his
no.
paw and point in the direction that it went. Fucker,
It's
go!
over there.
That's
It's
all. Go
somewhere over
show.
there.
Go show me.
Go knock yourself over there somewhere.
And
Yeah.
he just stayed there and pointed like it went that way. I was like, bitch, I know which way it went. Go follow it and show me where it went.
Yeah, it's over there someplace.
Uh-huh. He won't follow that. I don't know why. He is not interested in it.
Wow.
Almost like, yeah, like it's not. I don't think he's scared of it because I know he ain't never seen one either. He's been with me his whole life. Now my dogs are out there barking at whatever that is.
That was a pretty loud yowl, whatever the hell it was.
I know,
I heard it. I heard it on my audio, and I stink.
And I just tell everyone, there's no wolves in the Central Valley. So I don't know what the hell that is. It's something big. It's a big old dog or something. It sounds like a wolf.
Shit.
Until I see it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's just when you live in it, you kind of have to like the folks that live in Caney, Kansas, where our friends that we have down there. There is so much crazy bullshit going on down there. It makes Skinwalker Ranch look like an amusement park. That just
as soon as we end the show, I'm grabbing this gun and flashlight. I'm going straight back.
Unless you can wire a cam to your head as you go out there to hunt down whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. If you're not going to do that, it's like, stop teasing us. Because there are certainly weird places out there that have kind of a little bit of everything. Where you get a Skinwalker Ranch or a Bridgewater Triangle or Mount Shasta or various other points across the globe where you get UFO stuff, you get cryptid stuff, you get ghost stuff that there you can't explain it from 3 different avenues, the main 3 avenues that you can't explain any of it.
I'll say this, the things I see floating over the house. Okay. I should be able to see that from the mountains too, but better because
right.
I'm 420 feet elevation here. Up there, I'm just under 9,000. So in between 8 and 9,000, wherever I'm camped. I'm not saying there's nobody that lives up in the mountains that high. It's just where I live's low, so I don't get to see as many stars as I do when I'm way the fuck up there. It's much easier to see everything. Dude, I go out there and look every night when I'm there, and I don't see a damn thing floating around up there like I see here. I haven't spotted one yet in the mountains. And I would think it would be so much easier to see it if it was a satellite that I'm seeing, it would be so much easier to see it from there. And
I use the app Heavens Above, which gives you a total track of everything the entire night as you pull it up. And honestly, for the time frames that we're talking about, it's mostly an hour after actual sunset that you're actually going to be able to see satellites, cruising through the space, directly overhead. Because the way the angle is of the sun and the way that you're in dark and it's still sunlight up here, that kind of thing. That's only good for about an hour. About. So anything past that, I mean, I guess technically if you had a telescope and it was auto-programmed to look at a specific area, yes, you could see things past that hour window. But when especially something really big, the space stations, whether it be the International Space Station or the Chinese one, you can certainly pick those out. They look like a plane.
Yeah.
Without, it's just there's no flashing lights on it.
When those go over here or go over my house anyways, every time I've ever seen the space station, it's moving pretty quick.
Oh yeah, they're very fast.
Yeah, those things I record, no. And then some of them, I'll shine this green laser at right here, and they shut off. They just.
That's not how it should work. If it's a satellite, it
I
has nothing
know,
to do.
I know, I know. I don't know what that is though, so I can't. I don't really. I don't know. I see them all the time. I see them so much. It's just I can't figure out what the fuck it is.
Because
One day we'll know, though.
the whole reason we can see satellites and stuff, an hour or so like after sunset or an hour before sunrise is they're in like where you are on the ground, it's still dark, but a few hundred miles up in the air, above where you're at, it's the sun is shining on that part. So it's illuminating, solar panels and things like that on there. There's no flashing lights as far as like satellites go. So it'll be just a steady light as you see it, moving through the sky. But, in the middle of the night when there's nothing like that, once you get past like that hour after or hour before sunrise, sunset,
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see it. Not really. There's some tech out there where you could certainly, rig up something other than what you would buy off the shelf from, Walmart for sure, that you could certainly see it, but it's still not going to be very bright. It's not like you're going to look at it through a telescope. It's like, oh, that's obviously a satellite, because it's the solar panels that are on the satellite. That's what you're seeing. It's reflecting that light. That's what you're seeing on like the International Space Stations and the Chinese space station and stuff like that.
I might be able to find that video I sent to Jake. If I can, I'll pull it up. Oh man, that's not it. Nope. I was gonna say this is a plane, but this got to be it because I just shined my laser at it, and I will not shine my laser at a plane. I did do. A guy did that here at Fresno. Was doing it to the helicopter, and he was on his roof, and the fucking cops got him before he got off the roof. That's pretty fucking scary. So I don't shine my lasers at things that I know.
Yeah, don't shine your laser at an actual aircraft.
You will see.
If it has flashing lights on it, it's an aircraft. Don't fuck with it.
The stars, when you see the stars behind this one, this is a good one. Here, let me open it so I can share it. Hold on. See, I'm watching it good. You guys can't see it. Okay, I gotta share the screen. Yeah, this is what's floating over my damn house, guys, and then you tell me what you guys think it is. I'm not sure if I've ever shared this before. I can't find it. Oh, yep, there it is. Y'all see that? Can you see it?
Yes. Yeah, a pinpoint of light in the sky.
All right, here we go. Damn, Jake, look at the size of this one. Looks like a freaking planet floating up there. This thing right here. That thing is cooking. Getting ready to go buy some stars right now, so you'll see it. You can see the stars in the background, hopefully. My internet's
yeah.
Up.
That thing's way low, dude. It's way lower than the stars. Like, it's way lower.
And then
dude.
it's not going as fast now.
Ones I think I've ever seen. Oh, that is a trip. I'm gonna zoom in on it.
Just the few seconds that you've been filming it, it's changed direction to an unnatural orbit.
Well, yeah, but you'll see when it's going down the wires and it changes direction. That's pretty freaky. You can clearly see it go away from the wires.
Is what I'm saying. It's already changed direction.
That one's a trip. Dude.
Yeah, because things don't change direction.
Sometimes when I shine a laser at them, they shut off.
Oh yeah, see, I was trying to get that one to turn off. I was like, I wonder.
See how fast it's going. Like you see the stars over here. Like
the space stations are much faster than that, though.
These stars are
they're gone within like 20 seconds. They're out of sight.
Yeah, that's about right.
This video is long.
Floaty things, man. I told you, Jake. I don't know what the
fuck those are.
See, there's the wires. Those wires run west and east, east and west. This is about when it turns. It shouldn't be shining lasers at things no more, guys. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, that
I was like, come and arrest me,
It's-
fucker, because you ain't got no flashing lights on there. I ain't gonna get in trouble.
There's just
No, that
slower
don't
than
work.
stars.
Yeah.
That one's
Now
out
look,
still.
now it's gonna cross and go
It's
over
just
that
right
wire
there.
and leave. Now it's going north. It's just straight up going north now, and it's gonna go
Fucking
across that
cross.
wire
Right.
in a minute.
Because there was you could see a star like above what that was in the video, and it's certainly a right angle to that.
Yeah. Look, there's a star. That's a star. The one to the right of our picture. That's
Correct.
a star. Yeah, but that thing that's getting ready to cross over that wire is not a star. There's a trailer out front
Man,
too.
that
That's
was
what you're
crazy.
seeing.
Yeah, you can see it
Go behind
sinking
the
down
power
right
wire
there.
here for a
It's,
second.
Yeah, it has to go north to do that. Yeah, it just
and
went
just
under the
crossed
wire.
over right there. Yeah.
Faster or something.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's what I'm seeing. And I don't know what those are. I never seen that shit before. I know that's not the space station because the app tells you where the space station's at. That don't have nothing. That doesn't come up.
Federal Code 18 U.S. Code 39A, aiming a laser pointer at an aircraft. Whoever knowingly aims the beam of a laser pointer at an aircraft in the special aircraft jurisdiction of the United States or at the flight path of such an aircraft shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both.
That's right. You cannot shine a laser at an airplane. You'll get in big trouble.
Yep.
You also can't
Because
fly an
it's-
airplane without marker lights.
Well, that's true too.
So everything you see without marker lights, guys, it's not an airplane. If it is, and you see one with no lights or with no marker lights, no flashing, blinking lights, that's a military aircraft. But
Which,
they're black.
to be
You're not
fair,
gonna see that.
yeah, there is a blacked out condition for military aircraft where everyone in that aircraft is wearing night vision stuff. They can't have flashing lights and things like that because it'll blind them. It'd be like shining a flashlight in your face, kind of an idea. Because they have like the fancy, $20,000 a headset, night vision on their face, kind of a thing. That's how it plays out, and unfortunately, that's how it goes.
I have a night vision monocular.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. It works really well. If you use it in the mountains, though, and it's pitch black outside, and you take this thing and you look up and you see everything, right? Then when you take it away from your face, you can't see shit.
No, nothing. Yeah.
It goes from totally not scary to, oh man. And usually you're using that when you heard a noise. So then you'll find what it is. And then if it's a bear and it's running at you, you're in trouble. You're not going to turn around and run with those on your face because it ain't going to work. It's going to be very hard to do. They're not like the ones they're wearing. But they work, but they don't work like that. So yeah, you have to have a flashlight when you're using those damn things.
Yep.
They work.
Unfortunately,
you can see very far away with them. Like it's very impressive. Like the house that's across from me is probably, I've ranged it the other day. It's like 300 yards. It,
as you do, yeah.
It will zoom in the dark, and light up their whole house. and you can see everything perfect. And you can zoom all the way in to where you don't see nothing but a window or a door or chimney. Just it'll go that far zoomed in 300 yards, and you can still see with that infrared light turned up that's on it. You don't see the light with your own eyes, but it picks it up. I got the bright idea to use the laser to make the light for that, right? That's way too bright.
Yeah, you
that was like sunlight. That'll mess up your rangefinder.
Yeah, you don't want to pull the laser out. That's kind of a last resort. Actually, the thing I was at a couple weeks ago, they had like door prizes for the UFO door prize because they had like a ghost thing and a cryptid backpack and a UFO researcher kind of kit thing. The UFO one had a green laser, pointed a laser thing, basic, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that won, I was like, please be careful with that. For the fuck's sake, don't point at a goddamn airplane.
No, yeah, and you don't point this at a person standing next to you either.
Oh no, you will blind yourself.
No, not their eyes. Like if I pointed at your shirt, it'll catch your shirt on fire if I just stand there.
No, that's not that wouldn't.
It lights
no.
paper.
It's certainly not that strong, but it's certainly not. You will put out an eye. You would certainly have retinal damage.
Hold your hand in front of it. It gets so hot it burns you. It really does light matches and paper.
Green lasers?
Yeah, this green one.
I had one and I never had that experience.
It's telling you. Yep. That's the only reason I bought it.
Well, I mean, how big is your beam? Are we talking, pencil, length, or are we talking?
I can take it down so fine that's what makes it hot. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's different.
It's still charged.
Just
charged up all the way.
Generic, laser pointer for demonstration kind of a thing is one thing. It's you start getting into that category where you're adjusting the focal length of the beam. Then yes,
you got to have a key to use it.
Right. Well, there's some that are like, well, of course, green is kind of like passe nowadays. Now you have the purple ones where basically it's the laser that they pull out of a Blu-ray player. And that is bananas because it borders on ultraviolet light.
Mm-hmm.
So just the tiniest adjustment, it's invisible to you, but it's still pointing shit out. And if you have the proper optics, you can see it, kind of a thing. It's the opposite end of like an IR type setup, but still, it's something that's very intense. The Blu-ray beams are very crazy. They will certainly burn holes and shit.
I didn't know. I just thought that was a gimmick.
Oh no!
Burn a paper. Damn it! I can't unplug that. I was trying to find a plug-in for this thing. My battery was all the way dead. Oh, come on. Well, I guess I'll do this later. No demonstrations today.
Well, we've been on here for 2 hours, brother. Let's.
I know, man. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, it's time to get out of here, I think.
Yeah.
Time to call it quits.
Yep, and I got stuff to do too before I go to bed. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Hope you guys had a good time. Oh, the bug zappers are going to get another one.
Bug zappers. When we join our hands together, the bug zapper sings. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, guys. It was fun, and I'll see y'all later. And Enzo, you got anything coming up?
I do not. This was it. This is the highlight of my week.
Well, we're going to do this again Friday. You can come back, man.
All right.
And then happy Friday the 13th. Got about 50 minutes of it left here in California.
That's right. Big eclipse tomorrow. We didn't talk anything about it, but that's okay.
Oh, shit. I know.
Check your local news. You'll be fine.
Damn it, we should have pulled them videos up.
I have all of them right here.
Oh man. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's we've been on here for 3 hours, dude. Where do you get
Right.
two?
Yeah. It's
3 hours, man.
it's fine.
Okay. Well, guys, that's it then, and we'll be back. We'll be back probably next Friday. I shouldn't be hunting. I can't make no promises. Somebody shows me a picture of a whole bunch of deer out there, then I get antsy. And then I'm gonna
What?
Yeah. But all right. We'll see y'all next Friday. Thank you for watching. Peace out.